Mixed Nuts is recorded in front of a live social media audience.
Coming to you live from the luscious loins of LaBelle, Indiana. It's Bullshit, your host this evening. And tonight, in studio, for the fourth installment of Mixed Nuts, we've got the legend himself, the notorious BNG. It's the shot. What's up, man?
Hi.
Hell yeah. You know what? I bet nobody on this fucking earth ever calls you the notorious BNG, except for probably me.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. I figured as much, man. But so, what's up, y'all? How was your daytime commute?
It was hellish, honestly.
Yeah. Had to go pick up my dog.
Yeah, a lot of rain, lots of really bad visibility, and Indianapolis drivers.
Oh yeah, yeah. The ladders for sure. I think
I'm one of those, so I can say that.
Yeah, we're all right. We're all the Indianapolis drivers. So, oh yeah, I was meaning to ask you. When's the last time I saw you guys?
You mean besides yesterday?
Oh, that's right. Yesterday.
Wait, what?
So yeah, we ran into each other at Pride. It was cool.
Yeah,
You guys have fun?
we did.
I got really sunburnt.
I didn't eat, and I started the day with a double that was poured so big they gave me 2 glasses.
No shit.
Yeah,
Gotta love them GBPs.
doing good.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I remember
Empty
most
stomach
of
pride
it.
is an adventure. Whew.
Yeah, it was an adventure.
You were having a badass time though.
Yeah, it definitely was. I was like running around taking photos. I was like trying to catch lightning, pretty much. That's what I do. That's always the way I always.
have you tried like a metal pole?
I mean, I run around with a camera. No, I be running around with a what do they call them, kite with a little like a key on it, trying to catch lightning. Holding up my camera, just waiting for the.
Should we call you Ben Franklin?
Sure. I think I'm probably as kinky as him.
He was kinky?
History.
His
says,
diplomacy was basically orgies until he got what he wanted.
Wait, you can have a diplomacy and orgies? Where do you sign up for something?
the city county building, probably.
I think I had the form in my wallet.
Hi, Allie. Where were we? Oh yeah, Pride. Yeah, dude, that was so much fun. I had a blast.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Going next year. I saw so many people talking about getting like sun poisoning.
Yep.
It was a hot day.
So I dressed up in normal attire. No, I started out with
jeans on.
black t-shirt, flannel jeans, and I was wearing my work boots. What's up, Billy? Hey, William. That's right, Kenzie 6.
Yeah, I tried to hide in the shade a lot yesterday because
Technically, it's a queer function. There's shade everywhere.
Oh man. Can I hit the button?
Yeah.
All right. Every good joke is a bad joke.
Hey, I love daddy jokes. So.
Me too. They're the
best.
bomb.
that's why she's with me.
Daddy.
Thank you. Time for bed, Grandpa.
Oh yeah, on my list here, I put 40s in reference to being like, so, Penny, what was it like growing up in the 40s? Which is not fair because I actually turned 40 in like a week, so I'm officially old.
Then he turns. How old will you be next month?
Well, if I can make it another 2 weeks and a couple of days, I'll be a half century old.
Oh yeah, man. You don't look 50 though.
No, thank you. Like 65.
I would say you don't act 50, but you're pretty wise, man. Pretty wise guy. You know what's up.
Polio, war, double clutch.
He's talking about your childhood, Benny.
I walked 15
say,
school every day uphill.
did you have a large abacus in like school, or when you click the little beads over?
No, we didn't have counting yet.
Oh, we didn't
We
have
weighed
math.
we weighed things with scales.
Scale everything out. Man. So did you have an outhouse or did you have bathrooms when you were a kid?
I just used the tree.
You
We didn't even have toilet paper.
You had a collection of leaves on the side of the house so you can wipe your ass.
You have to be careful about the leaves, though.
Oh man.
No, that explains a lot.
You just make sure you put the leaves with the leavings, and then you're good.
Leaving?
Oh man. The dry humor right now is at such a great high.
If it's dry, just spit on it.
Yeah. And we're gonna end up like Hannah. This motherfucker's gonna be on fire with all this dry fucking humor. So man. So this is your first child liver show, right? Podcast?
Well, it's the first one, I guess, as me. Kenzie Six did one together.
Mm-hmm. But your first, it's Benny NoGood.
Yeah.
So we've never really talked about Benny NoGood. Like,
oh, I'm sure somebody has.
Benny. Oh man, you know what? I wasn't actually aiming for that. I was aiming for that, but you just gotta take what you get. Sometimes I hit the wrong fucking button. It's still fucking laughing.
The Golden Girls laugh track.
The what?
The Golden Girls laugh track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I never use that one. It's too much. It's too much. But so Benny, are you from Indiana?
Nope. I'm from Texas.
From Texas.
Yeah. I got excommunicated because I'm not tall. Everything's supposed to be bigger in Texas. I was hurting the image.
They're like,
They're
the fuck out of here.
Out.
That's great, man. So how'd you end up here in Indiana?
About 3 country albums worth of bad bullshit, and I was just dropped here, basically.
Wait, are you saying that you used to write country music?
I could. Probably, yeah.
Well, I mean, just a little change in the tone of your voice.
Yeah, Tex. You think you could sing a country song?
Let me get about 3 more beers in me, and you'll see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, So 3 country albums later, and you wound up here in Indiana?
Yep.
Right on. And your old stomping grounds is Lafayette. Is that where you landed?
Yeah, initially.
Hmm.
Yeah, I stayed there for, I don't know, like 6 years, and then I came down to Indy.
What was it the whole what's going on up there? Never mind. There ain't shit in Lafayette, is there? There's a college, right?
Yeah, there's like
oil makers.
Basically like Lafayette is Purdue, Hill Jacks, and meth.
Oh, and Triple X.
They got some music up there.
Triple X is good.
Fuck yeah.
What's Triple X?
It's a breakfast joint over on Purdue campus.
It's good.
It's famous. It was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, or whatever the fuck that Guy Fieri show was.
Okay.
Yeah, it's solid.
I know the
man.
show.
That food's good.
I never watched it. But Triple X in Lafayette.
Yeah, and they got their own root beer that is amazing.
Yeah, more like sassy fresh tea. Pretty good.
Well,
I'm a fan of anything called Triple X, though.
Hell yeah.
Wrestlers?
Isn't that what you're?
Oh yeah.
That's what you're drinking, right? Something like that.
No, it's just Double X.
Those are
double, just two.
Yeah.
just shy of the trip.
I think that's like visible penetration, but no climax, and then triple. Never mind.
Break it down for us, Benny. So, what got you into music, man? What got you what inspired you to be a musician?
I decided that being successful and having money sounded stupid, so I picked up a guitar and I've never put it down.
And you were what, 6 years old?
No, I'll tell you honestly, I got my first guitar when I was 12. My mom and stepdad gave me a little Casio keyboard for Christmas one year, Santa, and this kid named Kevin that lived down the street from me had an old Sears Silvertone and like a little shitty amp. And I used to go over there and try to fuck around with it all the time. And they gave me that keyboard, and Kevin was really into like rap. Like he wanted to be a rapper, And so I got this keyboard, and it had, all the old Casio beats.
Yeah.
It had all those fucking buttons on it. And I'm like, hey, I want to go down to Kevin's house and play for a while. So they were like, okay, can I take my keyboard? Yeah. So I left the house with the keyboard and came home with a guitar and amp.
Hell yeah.
And ooh, they were pissed. But
what kind of guitar?
it stuck. It was a Silvertone, like an old Sears fucking catalog guitar.
Hell yeah.
And I still have a couple of pieces of it. Of course, I was a kid. I destroyed it.
Yeah, Bergen.
I got a couple chunks of it laying around somewhere, like I think the bridge and the pickups sitting around somewhere.
We should make a shadow box, Benny.
We should
put it in there.
What's the shadow box?
It's like a picture frame that has depth, so you can store like large pieces in it.
Okay, yeah. That's cool. Little trinkets and whatnot.
Yeah.
Historical.
But no, I learned all your typical, fucking like play them wrong because they're just power chords, like Smoke on the Water, which is not power chords, but that's everybody's first like rock song,
right? That
kind of thing,
Mine too.
Iron Man, that kind of stuff, and then I got into like skateboarding, and through that I got into punk rock, and that pretty much ruined my life. So here we are.
Destroyed everything. Oh no. Hell yeah. So like, are there any like specific bands that really? I'm sure AC/DC. I've heard, we've talked about it.
This is weird because I went from like rock and roll to punk rock and then into like hardcore and stuff. And so like, of course, the Ramones are a huge influence. I mean, like I've listened to them since the beginning, and that's everybody's story. Like everybody at some point. So bands like them, Black Flag, like getting into the hardcore stuff, like Minor Threat, any number of the fucking like the Fat Wreck bands and that kind of stuff. And then when I started the Enders, I wanted it to be a 3-piece, but I didn't want it to just be like power chords only. So I'm like, well, if we're going to be a 3-piece, I got to learn how to play some leads and stuff. And so being a 3-piece, I thought like the blues box solos are really easy to pick up. So I basically put on Back in Black and picked out Angus's solos bit by bit until I could play the record. And after that, I knew how to play lead.
Yeah.
And so I've only been a lead player since like 2009, 10.
Dang.
That's how that happened.
That's like, pretty sure that's around the time I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like when I started the Enders and we started coming down from Lafayette to play an indie. And then I think in 2012, I just moved down here permanently.
Yeah, I have a total plan to be a lead guitar player. I start tomorrow. I'm going to learn. I'm going to figure it out.
Back in Black, AC/DC.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the magic.
Why can't it be Highway to Hell, though?
That's a good one, too.
I know, right? I don't want to get into the debate. The two. Yeah. Because that was the first album without Bono.
Honestly, like Back in Black was the least challenging of those albums because on a few of the other ones, he just kind of goes off forever and there's no way to memorize.
Oh, yeah.
He's just ripping for like a minute straight.
We were like
I
remember A Whole Lot of Rosie?
Yeah.
The fucking solo on that is like 17 minutes. It's like an entire side of a vinyl, pretty much. But yeah, bad joke.
So yeah, Angus taught me how to play lead. He doesn't know it, but he did.
Hi, Dylan.
Oh, Dylan. Y'all, don't forget, this is Mixed Nuts. You are more than welcome to come on the show, ask Benny a question, or maybe promote something you've got going on this week. This coming week, Benny and Sid are playing at Punk Rock Night for the Punk Rock Night Pride Show.
Yes, we are.
And who are you playing with on this one?
Myself. Oh, you mean
Unsaved, live at punkrocknight.com/videos.
Everybody come to the show. Ben's going to play with himself.
I'm going to come to the show.
Jesus.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Oh, we're playing with Killing Pixies and Flummox.
Right on. And this is a special Punk Rock Night. We're actually having Buffy Rollins host the show.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great night. There's going to be a lot of energy in that room.
Hell yeah. Hopefully the same energy that I experienced yesterday at Pride. From the moment I walked onto the property until the moment I left, it was nothing but happiness and joy and acceptance. And it was just a beautiful thing.
Fuck yeah.
You know, I've been to music festivals and I've been to all sorts of festivals in my life. And there's always going to be like that one motherfucker that like has to get aggro or has to be a jerk.
A Debbie Downer.
Right?
Yeah.
None of that shit.
Fuck no.
None of that. Nothing but everybody just having fun and You know?
Well, the bittersweet thing about Pride is the fact that a lot of people, especially those who have struggled with who they are, basically, they lose a lot of family, and that queer community kind of becomes your new family and supports you. And so I look at Pride like a big family reunion. You know, all of these people will have your back. All of these people are here for you and have been through some shit, and we are just there and celebrating and having a good time. So a lot of fun. I'm excited for the show.
A great sense of community.
Hell yeah.
You know, that if there's anything.
Phil said playing with himself doing Strokes covers.
Oh, man. Nice one, Phil.
I like that video of him hitting himself in the face on stage the other day. Do that too.
Wait, who?
Singer from the Strokes was doing a mic swing.
Oh, really?
And he spun it around and he whacked himself in the fucking forehead so bad he was bleeding down.
I remember my first beer.
I don't.
I'm trying. I remember my first drink. My first drink, but I don't know about beer. I can't remember. Not a beer person anyway. I used to drink beer. As I sit here and I drink beer. As our tagline is Music Madness, Parties Beer. Just not a beer drinker. We'll leave that to everybody else. Everybody else drinking beer. I don't know. I guess I'm drinking beer tonight.
I like beer.
Yeah. It's
all right. God, this one's from Montezuma. I might shit later.
So
it's your beer drinking?
You got a double X. I'm over here with the Three Floyds, Zombie Dust. This is leftover from Wednesday. By the way, Wednesday was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up.
I didn't see it. I think I tuned in for like I don't know, like 15 minutes.
We were drunk on the beach for a week, so
that's dope.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys go?
We went to the Outer Banks. It's like this little strip of island.
It's just past the Inner Banks.
Yes, across the Sound. It's this little strip of islands along the coast of North Carolina. It's almost what like Nag's Head or Hilton Head becomes when you get to South Carolina. That turns into like Myrtle Beach and all that crap. So
I got you.
Kitty Hawk.
Yeah.
Is there
Corolla Kitty Hawk, where the Wright brothers made the first airplane flight ever.
Okay.
Holy shit! Justin Shank's in the house. What's up, buddy?
Not quite the Beyond Bank. Yes. So, but yeah, we go there we run a big ass house on the beach, and it's like cooler to the beach, cooler to the pool, cooler to the hot tub, go to bed for like a week.
Yep. Cooler.
Yeah, you got shit in your cooler, man.
Oh, I was like,
in the
cooler. like a cooler, huh? You guys have like a walk-in cooler?
No.
Like just stop it in the walk-in cooler.
Yeah, in the walk-in. Can you do the want now? Can
Yeah.
You push them? There you go. All right.
Let's see.
If I had a walk-in cooler full of alcohol, at some point you would just find me sitting in the middle of the floor looking like Jack Nicholson in the final scene of The Shining.
Oh, yeah?
I just stayed there.
So what was your first band, Benny? First band you ever had?
Oh, it was so cheesy. Jesus Christ. We were called Silent Cries. This is about the goddamn 80s, early 90s, the sound of shit you can ever hear in your life, but that's what we were called.
Silent
and
Cries.
We were not great, but we had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played a lot of parties.
Hell yeah. See, that's what's about.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be good. As long as you're having fun, you know?
Some of the songs were pretty good. I mean, it's dated as fuck now, but back then they were good.
Like back in the 60s.
What was a song title from that band?
Nothing,
Silent Cries.
Nothing
Single.
Man was one.
Nothing Man.
Fuck, I can't remember the other one. Nothing Man. I can't believe I remembered that. I haven't thought about this band.
Is that one about Rorschach?
No, that was on the first Enders EP, though. I had Inkblot, and that was about Rorschach.
Oh yeah.
I like him a lot, but I don't like that his mask keeps showing pictures of my parents fighting.
Oh, bam. That's what we need. We need a bam button, like bam. That was a good one, man. That was a banger right there.
Just steal the Sheldon Bazinga.
What's the name of that comic?
Hey, man, here's a funny story. Going back to like the whole Pride family stuff, and then that joke. This will tie it all together. Back in 2012, 13, when I came out as bi publicly, my brother disappeared from my Facebook. Like, he just didn't say a word about it. He just unfriended me. Cool, I get it. Like, you live in East Texas and you're like all like Jesus and hot rods or what the fuck ever you are. So he just like disappeared on my Facebook. Like, we're not friends anymore. He had kids at that point, which were like preteen.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 of them are either, actually, I think 3 of them are just outright gay now. So, you know, he got that one handed back to him in spades, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
Welcome to the party, buddy. Happy Pride.
Yeah. Well, you know, hopefully, has he grown out of that?
I don't know.
Some people just don't.
I don't know.
My biological father, he still is just on that shit.
I just never reached out again after all that happened, and like I guess like he's cool with the kids now, but I just didn't. I haven't bothered.
People
Sometimes
like that
don't reconnect.
Well,
you know?
people like that, blood or not.
I love him. He's my brother. Like, I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't try anymore.
Yeah. You don't need that kind of negativity. Nope. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes in life you cannot choose the people that you love. And that is typically family. And that's one thing that we have in common, you know? Like, we all have family members that are just pieces of shit.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, where were we? Yeah, your first band. So,
God damn it, Shep.
notice how fast I am running to pick that up.
Pick up the vape.
Oh, not the vape.
There you
The
go.
vape. What the fuck did you do, Shep?
I knocked over my 3
Jesus,
points.
man.
Gonna get on the floor.
I probably was
Oh
going
my-
to drink all of it
Now
anyway.
shit on the
No.
floor.
This is entertainment value right here. Hold on. Can he stop the water of the beer from falling off the table? Find out soon on Sunday's Mixed Nuts podcast. All
Throw
right,
that to me.
I'll grab a top.
I'd say try to drink it off the desk, but you would probably catch Ebola or some shit from that.
No way, man. I'll do it. Don't dare me to do something and not expect
I dare you to drink that off the desk on camera, Shep. I bet you won't, Shep.
Should I snort it?
Yeah. Snort the beer, Shep.
Snort the beer.
the beer,
Snort the
Shep.
beer. Snort the beer. They're gonna be able to see your face. You're fine.
There you go. All right, we got this. We got this. Shep, you can do it.
Snort it.
do it!
Do both, pussy.
Wow. Wow. It's so aggro. Don't do that.
Now drink it.
That was not good.
Yeah. There you go.
You guys, come on, man.
We're having a great time. You're a great host, honestly.
Yeah, that was awesome. We should do more stuff like that.
You know what's funny? We have a box. So what's in the box?
What's in the box?
It's supposed to be truth and dare, right?
Oh,
But there's like so not enough dares. Should be so many more.
Shep has games.
Phil, I say you're wrong. It may not belong in the lungs, but it does go in the lungs. That's happened to me a few times.
Shep snorted the beer.
I did, yeah.
And it was zombie dust, too.
Zombie dust.
Are you going to turn into a
That'd be
zombie?
dope. That'd be like one of the coolest things ever. Just turn into a zombie. For
Right.
a short
And
beer.
for us, that would probably be
I still have-
terrifying.
Still in my nose. Yikes. All right, well, believe it or not, that is not the stupidest thing I've ever done on this podcast or a podcast in
Oh,
general.
we know.
Yeah, everybody knows. Welcome to the club. So where were we? Oh yeah, before we spilled the beer, we were discussing
Spilling tea.
first band. Nice.
Excuse me.
Don't cover it.
Sorry.
Usually we get grades. Where's Jeanette at?
Justin, everything belongs if you're brave enough.
Hi,
Lisa.
Lisa. I love her so much.
I do too.
She's so wonderful, and she's such a badass.
Super talented.
Very talented.
I'm like reading the comments.
So yeah, that was my first band, and I had a lot of fun learning to play music on stage and not have stage fright and remember how to do things. So that was a learning experience. I will put it
Stage
that way.
fright. Is that what you said? You have stage fright?
Everybody does it first, right?
Wow. Yeah, I remember our first show
Sure, I did.
as Kinsey Six. We just got added onto a show last minute, and we had like a week's notice. And we had only been rehearsing for, I don't know, what, like a month and a half? And I remember that night, I was like, okay, standing in the bathroom like, you either throw up now or you get your shit together. And I got my shit together.
Hell yeah.
But like, I didn't expect to be that like rattled. But yeah.
Was that the Melody Inn one?
Yeah.
I was there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a double debut night.
The one thing I hate to do is to say, like, someone's like, hey, have you ever seen that movie, blah, blah, blah? Or like, have you ever heard of this band, blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, if it does not directly come, I will not say yes. I'll be like, I'm not sure or no. So I had to verify.
I was there, right?
But yeah, I'm pretty sure I was there.
I'm pretty sure you took pictures.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah.
But yes, I did have stage fright.
Oh.
And I used to get really nervous before every time I would go on stage. And I think at some point I either just kind of stopped giving a fuck about that feeling, or I just got jaded enough after playing tons of fucking shows.
Hell yeah. Well, you could tell, like,
I just was like, whatever.
Just watched you do a Ramon set, like Enders a few weeks ago for the Joey Ramone birthday bash.
Yeah.
And like, there's, the thing is like, you're weathered, like you get up there and when you sing, you're free to like express yourself, because you're comfortable. That's
right.
like everything,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of going up there and singing words, you're telling a story,
yeah.
even in a Ramon set, if you feel it, then you can tell it,
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So you definitely got that, man. Like one of my, what's the name of that song? I'm always fucking with you too on it. Whenever there's that
Self-deluded.
I was like, yeah, you gotta do it. Dude, like best opening to any album I've ever heard come out of this fucking stage.
Really?
Fuck yeah, man. That is a banger. That is like legit on my like fucking list. I have a set of music called Speed Stains. It's on there.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Fucking rage. Fuck, you know this. Quit acting like you don't know this, man. You already know this.
It's fun. That song. No, it's fun. It's for real. I like that song. It's a fun one to play. But when we were doing that album, that song only really has like 2 verses, and then it repeats the first one again. True. Because I just never got around to writing a third verse, and I was like, the Ramones do it, so maybe.
Yeah. It's the punk rule.
Yeah.
It's the
like
punk
I can
rule.
just sing the same thing like in a lower register, and it'll be a cool thing to do, I guess.
First,
but it's really only like that because we were working on the other songs, getting everything ready, and it got time to go and record, and I'm like, fuck, I never wrote that. Oh well.
Yeah, it's a good album, man. So like in your years, so we were talking about your first band. Is there a favorite show, regardless whether it's Kansas 6 or the Enders or God, what are some other? What's that one you did with Bronson? It was you and
Sister
Fister, and Barker was in it too.
Yeah, that was fun,
man. Yeah. You've done some pretty cool projects. You did the Star Trek thing there for a while, right? Star Wars, that's right.
Yeah, I hated that had to end, but
Yeah, it was good. What's the name of that band?
The Yavin 4.
Yavin 4. Yeah. I got that vinyl too. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was really proud of the stuff that we were doing with that.
Yeah, it was good shit.
A lot of fun. I enjoyed that one because we weren't limited to like a genre. It was more like we would write a song around the feel of whatever character or situation the song was about. So like, I wrote one about Bosk, and he was reptilian, so it felt really like kind of slithery and like kind of deserty to me. So it sounds kind of like a Megadeth song, so it was that kind of fucking riffing and delivery and stuff, and like the traded off solos and everything, because that sort of a song and that kind of a structure fit it.
Yeah,
and
it's like a super group though.
Like 3,720 to 1 was about the asteroid chase, and so like that one, I wrote that one, and I wanted it to feel like one of those 70s kind of like fucking Radar Love type driving songs, but like faster. But I wanted it to have that driving hard rock feel. So, What's
the name of that band you were in the 90s?
Civil Disorder.
I've not heard of this either. Tell us about Civil Disorder.
It was a very kind of like if Metallica and Alice in Chains had a baby.
All right.
there was a lot of really heavy riffs and a lot of, you know, double bass kind of stuff going on, but it was also very like dark and moody and like really kind of odd lyrics and stuff. And we did pretty well. We toured out a lot in the region of the South. We didn't ever come up this way, but you know, we got around pretty well. We opened for a Grammy-winning band in front of a festival of like 60,000 people.
Holy shit!
That was fun.
Hell yeah! That's what I've been like playing yesterday.
There's a shit ton of people.
Man, I can't even imagine. Yeah, it's a wild.
I think it gets to a point though, like audience size. Once you play in front of that many people, it doesn't matter if it's 5 or 10,000 or 60,000, because all you see is right here. You know, there's a lot of motherfuckers back there, but you're not looking way back there, right? Like if you can see the sound guy, that's as far as you need to look. So it sounds really intimidating, and I guess to me at the time it kind of was, but at the same time, once I got on stage, I was like, oh, whatever, you know, because it's like you're not taking in exactly how many people you're actually standing in front of.
Yeah. Imagine your energy was like,
it was nuts.
Man, I just, it doesn't matter how big the room is, as long as there's like just tons of people there, you know, you're gonna have the time of your fucking life. That's what it's all about, you know, entertaining people, making people move, dance, sing, whatever. It's a fucking beautiful thing. Cannot imagine though in that setting. Well, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
So would you say that's your favorite show you've ever played?
No, not at all.
Could you possibly pick one and tell us about it?
Jesus.
In all your years, the last 50 years of living, 49 years, 11 months.
I don't know if I have a favorite show ever. I don't know, man. Like when I was singing with Gay Black Republican and I got to open for the Dead Kennedys at a sold-out Vogue show, that was fucking insane.
I was there.
That was wild. So that's probably pretty high on the list. And that was just a sort of a happened to walk into it kind of thing. I had barely been singing with him at all. Doc was gone out of town for a year. And they were like, he was like, hey, you should hit Benny up, you know, and see if he wants to sing with you guys while I'm gone so you can keep playing. So they did. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do that.
Did you have to ever record anything?
I just barely had started rehearsing with them. And then they got the call to do that show. And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah, we're going to open for the Dead Kennedys at the Vogue. And I'm like, shit, no way. So that was neat. Yeah, we did record. We did a full album called The One Takes. And it's other than a couple of punch-ins on like the last two songs, we literally recorded that album live in the same room. Like we were individually mic'd, but if you were to turn any of the other 3 channels off or however many there are, like you would hear all the other stuff in the room going on.
Yeah, it is the like rawest. I don't even know if raw is the right word, and I don't even know if rawest is even a real word in the first place. But your voice, it like, you know, you have the rasp, you know, so it's like maybe the dirtiest, like voice wise, or raspiest. There you go, raspiest voice version of GBR you're probably ever gonna hear. You know?
Yeah, it's wild. If you listen to like the versions of the songs on the One Takes that we did versus the other versions, like with Doc's vocals, I think me being so vocally aggressive kind of drew out more aggression from those guys because their playing on that album is a lot more like angsty and like angry and dirty. Like,
I love that word,
like,
angsty.
It was just a lot heavier version of the band, and I think maybe it was like I was trying to like sort of come down vocally to them from where I was with the Enders, which was just like full on hardcore, and then they were trying to like step up towards me to meet my vocals, so it landed in the middle there, and it was honestly, it's a really good record. I think like one of the better albums I've done.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Benny sessions. Best way I could put it, like, because it was GBR, but it was with, you know, it'd be kind of like, what's a good way? Imagine Bad Religion, right? The vocalist's voice goes out and they go on a tour and they're like, hey, Ian MacKaye, like, can you like stage for a while.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good way to put it, because Ian has that fucking killer fucking that, obviously not so much with post punk, but
Right.
or post hardcore, whatever. You know what I'm getting at here.
Yeah, but like
what you putting down.
I still got Floyd Rose in my nose. All right.
Indicates specifically,
right.
specifically on Out of Step is what you mean.
There you go. All right, there you go. Boom. I definitely appreciate that era. I love Doc too, but it was more like you get a little bit more hardcore GBR in a sense. You know what I mean?
I want to jump on the couches now.
Parkour.
Do you It's not hardcore, it's parkour.
Hardcore.
Play on words. It's a thing. That's what I was trying. Like, I was leaving the festival yesterday, and I was like just so filled with like joy and happiness,
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I should make a reel, because
they call it gay shep.
Yeah, well, whatever. I just love. There's nothing like I love more than just the sense of unity, and it was a beautiful thing. But when I was leaving, I was like, just vibing so good. I felt so happy, and I had such a great time, sitting there reflecting, walking a mile to my fucking truck. Anyways, we won't get into that. But yeah, I had to park like a mile away. I was getting ready. I was like, I'm going to do this reel, kind of like promote, like, hey, what a great day. Thank my brother for inviting me out. And then heading to PRN, come up to PRN, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of hit me because I talked to so many people, and they're like, oh, I'm going to sun poisoning, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it just kind of hit me. And I was like, fun poisoning. Fun poisoning, because I had so much fun. And I said it, I just shot the real. I was in one take. And I said, y'all, I had so much fun. I got fun poisoning. And this
you can take a
lady that was walking by was like, what? Literally, if you watch the reel, it was like, what? As soon as I said it, I was like, yeah, what? I should have been like, fun poisoning, but whatever. It's in the moment thing, right? It's in the moment. I don't know. I love life, though. I do. Seriously. So much fun. You got to live to be fucking happy. And
yeah.
I love being around positivity. So.
I had fun poisoning once, but I took an antibiotic.
Did you?
Gross.
You shouldn't do antibiotics. It's not good for your health. Too much antibiotics is not good for you. So my next question is, and I don't even have to look that down in the paper because I already know where I'm going with this. We're talking about your favorite show. What's the craziest show you ever played?
That second band that I was talking about, Civil Disorder, rented a union hall down in Texas to put on a show, and we had a couple other local bands play with us. And it was basically like we just got a couple other metal bands together, and we just threw a party, right? And we were doing, we were covering Metallica. What song was it? Creeping Death. We were playing Creeping Death, and it got to the die, that break in the middle, and the fucking power went out, and the crowd kept it going. And when the lights came back up, and we just continued the fucking song, and everybody at that point, because we were the last band that played, everybody was just completely obliterated. I mean, fucking shit hammered. And there was a dude there doing Everclear fireballs, where he was like, ugh. And he had a big goatee.
When you said fireballs, I was thinking like a mix of like Everclear and
he was putting
fireballs.
Everclear in his mouth and then blowing fireballs like he was in a fucking circus, right? This motherfucker has a big old bushy like Dimebag Darrell goatee going on, right? And he caught his whole fucking face on fire right in front of the stage while we were playing. I was like, oh my God.
Never trust a flaming Dr. Pepper.
While he's doing that, another guy stage dives and breaks his whole fucking hand. Like he stood up and his pinky was pointed at a 90-degree angle. It was so fucking gnarly. But that's the craziest show. That was definitely the craziest.
Man,
that was life in my 20s.
You've been playing punk rock, huh? Yeah. Interesting.
That is wild, man.
That is.
And that was in your 20s. So that would have been in the 90s?
Like 70 years ago. I don't know.
70.
I lose count, man.
Like, who was president, man? Anyways, so that would have been 90s. That's, man.
Yeah, it was in the 90s. It had to have been I don't know, like 97 maybe? Somewhere in there, 96, 97.
I was 4.
97, I would have been, okay, hold on, let's do some math. I would have been like 13. I would have been like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Oh, you're both old as shit.
I was balls deep in Christian music.
You I'm balls out for Jesus.
At least you weren't Catholic. Christian music would have been balls deep in you.
Oh my God.
Man. Oh, Jesus, hold on.
Hashtag, you're canceled.
All right. I never get to hit that button. I just wanted to give it a shot.
You
I
can
can't
just
believe
keep
I haven't
saying-
triggered that one already.
For real.
Yeah.
Where's the beef?
Where's Bronson? It's in here somewhere.
Sex and song.
There it is. Oh, it sounded like someone's about to come through the door. It was storming pretty good though, right?
Oh yeah, fucking all the
Yeah.
way up here.
Is it an intruder?
I fucking hope not.
Were they masked?
No
Was it a
more
masked intruder?
intruders.
Okay, step 1, break the beer bottles. You with me? You got this.
I got a fucking switchblade somewhere.
Sorry, I don't
See, mine's empty, which is depressing.
Oh, here, you want a beer? I'll grab you a beer.
I'll get one. Or you
I
wanna
can
get
be
one?
drink bitch. This is your show and you're hosting. I'm just kind of here.
Well, you're hanging out.
Yeah.
We
Not
couldn't do
yet.
this without you.
There you go.
Wait. Are you officially the beer wench tonight?
Yeah. Not to
Hell
mention
yeah!
I'm a
I've never had a
bartender.
beer wench.
You know how many times I'm at work and I'm like, I'm just a drink bitch. Like, that's just me.
Said you should come out Wednesday for the you have Jimmy Peone, the owner of State Street, coming.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I cannot. I hope we just talk about like partying the whole time. Dude is he's super awesome.
Talk about some of his playlists that he's curated.
Hell
some
yeah.
of the music that he plays.
He's had a record label. He obviously owns and runs a venue.
He knows music.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can we
yeah.
call him Jimmy Peyote?
Jimmy Peone.
I had to check my schedule for Wednesday, but
Yeah, I've got to hang out with him a couple of times, and I was like, man, I gotta get Jimmy on the podcast.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be fucking dope.
that's awesome. All right.
Nobody's
Stephanie,
talking to us anymore. I think we just confused them all. They're like, "What the fuck's even?"
I
going
mean,
on?
they're watching. They're just not chiming in. I wish some of y'all would like actually click that link and then just come on. That's the whole like. That was really what I wanted to do with the show. But you know what? It's all good. I swear to God, if nobody chimes in tonight, this is the last Mixed Nuts we'll ever do. Last one. Bueller. Last one. Bueller. No, I'm okay. Thank you though. Yeah, it's just what I mean by that is I'm gonna change the name of it. So
yeah.
I'm not gonna call it Mixed Nuts anymore. It's not a bad name for a show, and the idea was, just get a mix of people on the podcast, remote, a bunch of nuts, basically. But yeah, I'll probably just change it to what it should be called, Hair of the Dog. So
Hair of the dog.
at least it is for me.
Y'all messing with her. Son of a bitch.
Was that okay? Is that all right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably change the name of it if I get. But who cares, man? It's just a stupid name. It's like literally the same thing. So it doesn't
Names
matter.
are stupid anyway. They're arbitrary.
Names?
Fucking
Yeah. If they're not given.
What's your name? I have some shit my parents like that I didn't have any input with.
That's why I like nicknames, like Benny NoGood, right?
Oh, I hate my
Well,
name.
did you know how I got that?
Please tell us how you got that fucking name, man. Yes.
Somebody, my real last name.
My God.
What?
Of course he would be the one to secure the name. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor. The second person to ever be on the Return of Chopped Liver podcast. That is the Randy.
As in Fox?
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
What's up, Randy?
Randy,
Yo.
hi.
Dude, I had to join in so you'd be forced to do this again.
Hell yeah. So
You said if no one did, you were gonna stop, so I had to join in.
The Fox is guaranteed the name. It will be Mixed Nuts forever.
Yeah, there you go. I got you something special too. You see right here? Right here? Big old tin.
Oh my God, it's Mixed
It's
Nuts.
Mixed Nuts.
Big old tin of mixed nuts there for you.
Hey, if you want to destroy our YouTube and Meta channels, just go ahead and beat off into that right now.
Oh,
And that's
yeah?
the end of
Nut
Chopped
it on the
Liver.
nuts.
That's a different kind of nut.
Did we make you Randy, baby?
Technically, my parents did.
Ah.
Oh my God, that's therapy.
I had to hit the button. That was a good one. Dirty but good. That was good. You excited for next
Best
Saturday?
things on. What's that?
You excited for Saturday?
Oh, hell yeah.
Dad didn't believe in sparing the rod, did he?
Ooh.
That's disgusting.
Hashtag canceled.
Like, I was literally, Hashtag, you're canceled. I was at work today, and I was like,
Nuh-uh.
yeah, I swear to God. Well, I usually work Saturdays, but I took, come on, I switched. Okay, look, I usually work Saturdays, and I requested to have yesterday also, it could be at Pride. And so they're like, okay, but you got to work Sunday. So I worked today, and I'm sitting there like a crazy person, like doing my work. And I'm like just sitting there thinking about tonight's podcast. And I was laughing. I was giggling because I'm like, it's just going to be fucking crazy. I already fucking know it, man. Like, there's going to be so many, like.
You already snorted beer.
Yeah. Well, it's more like the fucking killer fucking lines and the jokes because Benny is a funny motherfucker.
I'm just real dumb, man.
No, it's called wit, baby. You're talking full of it. You got all the wit, man. You do.
I'm just dumb and I don't know how to turn it off.
You should have a podcast, man.
No, I don't. Nobody wants to hear me talk all the time.
There's plenty of people that want to hear you.
She lives with me and she's like, shut the fuck up.
That means that we should start a podcast.
We should. It would be rated X. We can't talk to each other about like blah, 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 and fucking. Blah, 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 and fucking.
Which is why we happen to be in a kinky queer band together.
Kinky queer band. I like that. It's good. Got a good.
I was just told by Helen yesterday we should coin the term queerdos. And I was like, that sounds.
All right. I'm heading out. I'll see you guys.
Bye, Randy.
Bye, Randy.
Bye,
We love you.
Love you, bud.
Later.
Enjoy those nuts.
Oh, that's one special guest. Nobody else.
Oh, yeah.
These nuts.
These nuts.
So anyway, I walked in on my grandma sucking my grandpa's cock the other day.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was really weird they didn't cremate it with the rest of him.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It just gets darker.
Wow. Oh, man. Where do we go from there?
Straight to hell.
Can't make this shit up.
Somebody did.
Oh, my fucking God.
What did you say when I was so hot once? What was the line you used?
What?
What was the line?
Oh, I said you were so hot I wanted to suck your dad's dick to see what the batter tasted like.
Jesus fucking Christ. You know, I have an entire list of quotes from Benny since I met him.
Yeah. You told me about that, yeah.
They're so
awesome.
bad.
They are ridiculous.
Dylan told a pretty good joke last night. Dylan, you want to click that link and come on the show and tell us your joke from last night? That was
wow. We lost viewers when I told that joke.
It's gonna happen. People chime in, chime out. This is what they do. You know, the important thing is that Dylan clicks that link and comes on the show and tells us that joke. All right. Anyways, yeah, you've always been like fire on those quick good jokes. Yeah.
Oh, the name thing.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Benny NoGood.
So somebody was trying to be an asshole, and because my real last name has good in it,
that's good.
Instead of my real last name, they called me Benny NoGood, and I went, well, that belongs to me now, and I changed my Facebook name immediately to Benny NoGood, and now no one knows my real name. Everybody thinks that's just my name.
That's good though.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe in it. You know, I don't believe in someone giving themselves a fucking name. Names are given; they're not created. That's silly.
Yeah.
Like both of mine are be clumsy. You know, a shipwreck and a bull in a china shop. Clumsy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Especially while drinking.
So yeah, I didn't make it up, but I took that shit right away. So. That's what happened. Because, I mean, if somebody fucked with you, you just...
When was that? When did it...
God, that was 2011, maybe?
Hell yeah.
Maybe 2010.
It's a good one.
Early on.
Because now I could call you Notorious B.M.G.
So, yeah, it just kind of stuck. And I just never turned back.
And you've done, beyond the bands, you've also done solo work, too.
I have.
I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had a song that you recorded. It was a cover, but it like blew up on TikTok, didn't it? Or picked up or something.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, that's like I can't remember.
It got
the numbers,
used in a
but
bunch of videos. I wouldn't call it viral or anything by any means, but a bunch of people used it. It's that God's Gonna Cut You Down by Johnny Cash, which is not his song, but that's the version everybody knows because it was on the American recording sessions.
Yeah. The point is though, people liked it.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Your Lily Allen cover got like 20,000 plays on TikTok. That's a lot for.
Yeah, I did that "Fuck You" by Lily Allen on the first Benny the NoGood album.
Oh yeah,
and that one, it was almost on a TV show.
I have that vinyl too. You made
that was
vinyl.
almost on a TV show. It was actually used when they showed the pilot to the executives to get the show funded. It was in that, but then they rewrote that scene so that instead of the guy listening to the song, it was like the crowd was singing part of it in a pep rally or something. They changed the script up and it ended up not being in the aired version, but it was actually used to pitch the show to the executives.
That's fucking dope as shit, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So I'm messaging Dylan because he's like, "Where's the link, bro?" So I'm gonna send it to him real quick.
Oh, Mr. Salazar.
Salazar.
Interesting.
Love that guy.
Yeah. Such a cool ass dude.
Great energy always.
I always try to do like one cover on every album that I do. Not obviously not with like when I was in Yavanport. That was all original stuff. We didn't do covers on albums, but the shit that I've got control of, I like to do one just because I enjoy doing them. You know, it's like a lot of fun. The first Benny and the NoGood's album had "Fuck You" on it. The second one had "Daydream Believer," and I didn't even have a cover picked out to do when I started recording that. And I was in the studio doing the drum tracks. That's the first thing you lay down, you know. So I'm in the studio, first day fucking recording, and I can't remember. I think I was doing ADHD, and that song is just insanely stupid on drums. Every drummer that plays with me, when they hear it, they're like, "Man, fuck you," because it's just stupid. But I was working on that one in like 2 hours. I'm like, man, I gotta take a break. So like at that point, I was still smoking cigarettes. I walked outside.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you quit.
Yeah.
Wait, am I the only one smoking?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah. So
you want me to open the door?
No, you're good.
Wow.
Okay. Well, let me know if it starts getting.
I'll get 2 more beers in me and I'll bum one. That's the way it works.
Fair enough.
But anyway, so like I take a break from. I get tired. I'm like I gotta get my ankles and my hands a rest from this fucking song, right? So I go outside and just like have a smoke, walk around, you know, chill, check my Facebook, and I start seeing where Peter Tork had died.
Oh shit!
Like while I was recording, and so I walk back in. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna record a monkey song. He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do a monkey song. So went home that night, learned the guitar and the drums on it. Went in the studio the next day. I tracked the drums on that one in a single take. If you listen to the cover of "Daydream Believer," that was one take. There was one kick drum beat that we had to like nudge sideways just a tiny bit digitally that I missed the timing on. Otherwise, it's an untouched track on the drums, which is for me insane. Like I'm not that guy, so it was like a no hitter. Really, I'm done. Yeah, I'm finished. I don't need to do it again. I don't think so.
I remember.
Okay, that's fucking weird.
A long time ago. We would hang out and you would jump behind those drums and you would like just fucking crush.
Oh, dude, when you lived on the south side and we could get fucking wasted and sit down there and just jam.
And he would be like, I don't play the drums. I'm like, fuck you, man. You fucking play the drums. Good drummer, man.
Thank you.
I don't want to put that out there publicly too much because then people will be like, hey.
I'm a really shitty drummer.
I don't either.
I love playing drums. I love it, but
yeah.
I do not have the time to be like in another.
That's the only way to live, though.
At the end of the day, it's like a workout.
Going on. That would be awesome, though.
That would be awesome.
Let's just Chinese fire drill.
What is that?
On stage.
Everybody trade instruments.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm not Dave Grohl.
Man, this fucking.
I'll take his money, though.
Street Floyd is still up in my nose.
So that one.
What is it called? Three Floyds.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I did that one on the second Benny and the NoGood's album. And then during COVID, I recorded a bunch of songs just in my living room with like guitar, and I have this little Elise's fucking like synth pad keyboard thing, and so I did like organ parts and drums and things on that, and like I did some stomp and clap stuff, just using the mic in the room and the floor. And I recorded this really weird, like depressing minor key version of "Come On, Feel the Noise," which makes it feel all reminiscent and like looking back on your younger days, which I guess during COVID, when everybody was like isolated at home alone and depressed, is a pretty fitting thing to do. And then I did Hopeless Romantic, this song by that band. And I recorded a version of that, which is like real sort of like stomp and clap gospel country, sort of really swampy, slow, sad version of it. Because that song, I didn't change the lyrics at all. I just slowed it down and played it in a different style. And those lyrics have always been like, Greg sings them really upbeat and happy, obviously, right? I'm a hopeless romantic. And it's positive. But if you listen to what he's saying in the song, there's like this resignation of like, I believe in love and I'm going to do all these things, but I'm opening myself to be hurt. So instead of taking the focus on like, I'm going to fall in love anyway, I kind of shifted the focus towards like, I'm going to get fucked up here, but it's okay. You know, so it's real dark and moody and kind of sad, kind of resignation, kind of a tone. And that one I'm really happy with. Like that one it felt good to me. And then like after I finished it, I sent a copy of it to the Bouncing Souls, and Brian, their bass player, told me that it was his wife's and probably his favorite cover of a soul song that anybody had done. So there's the validation. It's like your favorite band tells you that you did the best version of one of their songs.
Hug you right now, man.
I was so happy. Like I just,
this is so fucking
I got the email back from him, and I just like jumped up out of my chair and I was by myself at home during COVID, and I was like, what? Fuck, what?
Hell yeah, man.
So that was neat.
That's beautiful, man.
And I think I've sold like 6 fucking copies of it on Bandcamp. Fuck it, whatever. It was for me.
Yeah, you know?
It's the only video I've ever filmed. The only video. All the bands I've been in is the only video I've ever filmed. Man, I did it with my phone and edited it myself and matched the audio and put it out there. And the song feels like a breakup song. So I filmed it like I was talking to someone on video chat on my phone. And then at the end of the song, I just got up and walked away and left it recording. And like, that's the video.
Oh yeah.
You're a little artsy fartsy, huh, Benny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty
Mr. Creative. I'll tell you, had a conversation last night. There was a video. There's a band coming to Punk Rock Night here in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So, Rich basically what he does is he gets all these videos together for upcoming shows, and there's this video playing in the back, and this is like, I don't know, 45 minutes before the show started, and we're all just chilling, and this video comes on, and it's like crazy. It's weird, crazy, like the way it's like shot and everything. And you know, somebody was commenting along the lines of like, wow, this is like really put together poorly or something like that, in the sense of like, this isn't really that great, you know what I mean? And I was sitting here watching it, and I'm like, I'm seeing these attributes of like older things that used to be culturally prominent in social media maybe 10 years ago. And I'm like, you know what? And I said this with humility or whatever. Not humility, that's not the right word. I said this knowing that my band, humility is not the right word, knowing that my band had been around for fucking ever and never made a fucking music video. And I said, you know what though? At least they have a fucking music video.
Yeah.
And not enough bands do. And I find it kind of weird because it's so expensive to record an album. It's so expensive, really expensive to put out a vinyl, and everybody's all about putting out vinyls, you know, whatever. But I get it because I'm totally in. I'm like, I'm down. I buy them, you know, I collect them. But nobody makes music videos, and it's so odd to me because it's like, hold on, like, Benny, what kind of phone do you use?
I have an iPhone.
iPhone, probably 12.
Like an 11.
Okay, somewhere in that range, right? Okay, so you're looking at 4K, 60 frames a second. Sid?
My camera's broken on my phone.
Okay, fair. So I have a whatever. This is a 13, and it's got like cinema on it, right? And the more modern iPhones have cinema. Or nobody here has an Android, but whatever. They have fantastic cameras too. Like, y'all, we don't.
Dude, there's a ton of
We don't need. All you need is a buddy to like just shoot a practice or just come up with an idea, like make the videos. Just fucking do it.
There's a ton of bands that are doing stuff on iPhones. There's an artist that I found on TikTok. This dude named Joey Balance, and him and his partner do really like throwback Beastie Boys style hip hop.
Hell yeah.
Right? It's very like early 90s. And it's awesome. Like they're a lot of fun. And all their videos are shot with a single fucking iPhone.
They love that fish.
And those dudes went from like going viral on TikTok to like they're opening major hip hop shows now. And they did it with an iPhone and just posting bullshit on TikTok.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
So it's awesome.
Just, yesterday, said tomorrow, do it. Just make the music videos. There's seriously just not enough, and we have the ability.
Really big ideas for music videos because I grew up like watching MTV, not for any of the songs, but I really paid attention to like the direction of the angles and like the B-reels that they have. Because it's not going to be one person standing in front of the camera. Sometimes you've got like scenery shots or like whatever. Absolutely. And I loved watching them, especially growing up like with Lady Gaga's music videos, and I was just enthralled. And I was like, this is amazing. This is art. This is so freaking cool. And I know, especially with Kinsey, like I had a huge idea for rabies, and it involved like this old van and like shag carpet and like a line of like people and stuff happening in the van. Like it was going to be, and it was this big, but could we have just like shot us kind of like playing it and doing like some cool angle shots and stuff? Yes. I just like I have Lady Gaga size videos in my brain.
See, I do too.
Yeah.
I have, whatever, but the thing is like I'm too busy. I am pretty busy, but I find myself now in a position where I'm doing the Sunday podcast, but I actually do have way more time than I've and I'm working more. There's the fucking Dylan's here. We're gonna digress back to videos, okay?
Okay.
All right. What's up, Dylan? How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm all right. How y'all doing today?
How's it going?
Good.
Hi, Dylan.
He's our honorary one-time Kinsey member.
Hell yeah, that's right. So Dylan had a crushing joke last night. It was really good. Do you remember it?
Yeah, it's I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty rough for.
It's bad and good at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. So I don't remember where, but and I'm sorry if it offends anybody, but what is red, white, and has more brains than Kurt Cobain?
His apartment wall.
The wall behind him, yeah.
The fact that you even guessed the answer to that joke.
I'm very gross.
That's rough. That joke blew my mind.
How you doing, Dylan? How's your day been, man?
I'm good, just hanging out. Had to take the dog out before hopping on,
Hell yeah.
What did that dog do for you to have to take it out? Jesus Christ.
Whine too much.
Hell yeah.
I don't blame you, man.
You got anything coming up soon, man? You got any shows?
I've got a show this Saturday, but that's not that important, seeing as how Kinsey Six has a show this upcoming Saturday.
We want to hear about it.
Yeah, where are you playing? What's up? What you got going on?
So it was initially supposed to be a Chicago show, but shit kind of went south there. So now it's Newcastle over at the
Oh shit.
Marlows. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Fred chimed in earlier.
yep.
Oh yeah.
Craig actually got me on there, and then unfortunately, Target Acquired had dropped, but all gravy. Deadfoot's gonna be hopping in, so yeah, it should be a good time.
Oh yeah, so if you're out in the Newcastle area this weekend, Dylan Salinger's project is playing at Riot Room. That is Fred and Stephanie Marlowe's spot out there. They do house shows. They're actually going to be here the following day for the podcast next Sunday, and also Phil Keller will be here as well.
Nice.
It's going to be fun for sure. And if for some reason you end up passing out in Newcastle and waking up at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon next Sunday, Dylan, you're more than welcome to crash the podcast. Hell yeah.
Right on. Hey, I'm down
Right
for
on.
it. Shit. I don't mind coming on whenever.
Yeah, man, you're more than welcome. Come on by. We're going live at 7.
Merrier.
Absolutely.
All right,
shit.
man. Well, thanks for coming on, dude. Appreciate it. And again, Dylan's playing next Saturday out in Newcastle at the Riot Room. So, cheers.
Oh yeah.
Love you, brother.
Hey, I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.
All right.
Cheers.
Click. It's banned from studio, right? Hold on. Oh shit, camera's on me. I need to change that quickly. Look like money. There we go. Hell yeah. What'd you guys think about the joke? Solid joke.
That shit blew my mind.
Did it? Oh man, I can't follow that out. God damn it. I'm gonna just hit the button. So we were talking about videos, right? I think for sure, like the most prominent band that I could think of where it was the videos that really created their path. Now, they did have a single out before they went like viral, but they went viral on YouTube because of their music videos. And I'm talking about OK Go. Yep. Fucking like the dopest stuff. I was in. And what was cool is like once they started popping out these awesome videos, I had realized that they had a single before whatever the
Here we go again.
Yeah, Here We Go Again. And it was called Get Over It.
Yeah.
And it was featured on, I think, Madden 2003.
Oh shit.
So like I had already heard that song, but I had no idea it was the same band. But it is definitely a thing to have like super creative videos and yeah. I don't know. There's tons of them out there, but there's definitely an outlet in indie if somebody were to actually like say, "Hey, we're the go-to." There was somebody that was making music videos in the early like 2000 teens. I just can't remember what it was called, but like Mr. Cled did one, and then what's that band that Jill did? Horrible names. Either way, there have been entities to like really push like, hey, here's an outlet for creating music videos in indie market. The names are, it's beyond me. I hope somebody like chimes in and says, hey, you're talking about this person. It's definitely a lady that was doing it. And then the Mr. Clay one was shot at the Ball Wrath, if that rings any bells.
Yeah.
Man, those were like really good videos. There's actually, I'm pretty sure there is an entity right now that does videos in town, but it's all like shot on a bus. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Pat and the Pisters did one. And then I think Christian Taylor did one too. But I don't know. I try to keep my vision out there and seeing what everybody's doing, and there is quite a bit, but there is a lot of people lacking, like that need music videos. I don't want to say lacking, but a route to get it done in a cheaper manner, because we're all really trying to make shirts and put out albums, but music video, I mean, we're in a video era. It's 2023.
Yeah.
TikTok is like, they're trying to shut it down. Like Instagram's just trying to keep up, and fucking Facebook is like, we will pay you. Like, please, we're desperate. Like 500 views, we'll fucking here's
Actually, Facebook, when all of the shit in Congress about TikTok came up, Facebook kind of overplayed their hand and announced that they were going to stop paying creators for content.
Ooh, yeah, that's not good, but they do.
Like, people are making their whole living on TikTok, man, going viral and making content and videos and stuff.
It's hard to be that creative.
And so, like, Facebook has spent an ungodly amount of money to back the funding for these bills and stuff, and all these lobbyists and stuff going and trying to get TikTok banned because they can't compete. Because their algorithms are shit. People are tired of their website, and they're tired of Mark Zuckerberg's politics and garbage.
Lizard person.
And so, you know, they can't win by, you know, just appealing to people. So they're like, we'll just eliminate the competition and suck worse.
It's so funny, like, whenever you put politics into social media, it's really about, it's not even about politics. If you look, you go down the core of it, it's about money.
Yeah.
It's about money and where they can get the funds, because, you know, everybody, it is a race right now. Everybody's either trying to create the first true, like, obviously, like, Apple is kind of out of their mind with the $4,000 unit, but whatever, you know, they've just now come out with their virtual.
Oh, the whole VR headset thing. Yeah, that video of them announcing it, and then they show the price on the screen, and the whole fucking crowd went, oh.
Yeah, but hold on though. Think about it. Okay, so you're paying what, $38, $49 a month, monthly fee for your fucking phone that is $1,600 because you wanted to get the biggest, nicest one. Double that, right? So for $100 a month on your AT&T or your Verizon fucking bill, you could probably get one of those things with a fucking, like, its own fucking internet connection for $100 a fucking month. And I am absolutely certain there are tons of people that are gonna fucking do it.
Like Ready Player One.
Right. And there's a race there. So yeah, money, politics, we'll fucking dive into it. But, you know, the big wars, really.
I mean, look at the shit that happened with Twitter, right? Musk buys Twitter. And he says it's going to be a true free speech platform. And so they unblock all of these, like, white supremacist accounts. And they're all on there. So all the advertisers were like, no, thank you. And so their revenues are down like 60 or 70% for ad revenue now because everybody quit.
You don't think that maybe that whole thing was just like, hey, like, I need attention, and Twitter's failing because nobody fucking gives a fuck about it anymore?
Yeah, Elon wanted people to like him so much, he bought a fucking social media platform and then started blocking people after he said he was going to be a true free speech platform. Or that he was a free speech purist or whatever, and everybody who criticized him started getting blocked or like shadow banned, and it's just ridiculous. It's a giant fucking man baby. I just really think that history is going to tell us that everything that's happened with Twitter over the last 2 years has been just like a power play to like somehow make it relevant again, and just the fact that they have like literally it's porn. They literally like, and there's nothing wrong with porn, but that's the one thing that they also stand out from all the other social media platforms is they allow nudity. They allow that stuff, which, hell yeah, cool. I have no problem with that. But I'm just kind of like, I'm just saying, like, the last fucking 2 years, it's been a fucking show. It's been a fucking show to keep a company that used to have such a huge control in the social media realm of money, the most lucrative business in the history of all humankind ever. And yeah, it's just a ploy to keep them out. But sorry y'all, like, Twitter's done. It's MySpace. Yeah, I mean, I still
really
technically have an account over there, but I look at it like once a month or something.
I swear to you, the only time anybody has ever commented from Twitter was sex bots, pretty much, or whatever they're called.
Funny.
Yeah, that's it. But all right, let's get back to Benny. We're not here to talk about social media platforms, meta, the future, fucking quantum computing. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. So I had this down. I really wanted to bring this up. How did you and Sydney?
You'll make him tell the story.
Oh yeah.
I'll probably mess it up. She'll fix it.
We met on Twitter.
I thought she was a sex bot account.
I might have.
So I answered her.
That should be your new
She was
nickname.
a real person.
Sex bot.
Like that.
No, we actually met several times before we actually really met.
I didn't know who the fuck he was.
And so basically, I get a friend request from her, and I vet my friend requests. Like, I look at them and like, I've got like 40 people in common with this person. They're probably cool because I trusted people that they're friends with or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, she seems cool. So I accepted it, and we just, she's like, hey, how's it going? And we were just chatting back and forth like buddies, right? Like talking about music.
I added you after I saw you post a hilarious comment on one of my friend's posts, I think.
Was that on MySpace?
No, it was on Facebook.
I'll just do it.
But no, we would just, just bullshit about our day or whatever, and just kind of like, hey, what's going on? And then, I just kind of progressed from there. Like, I ended up, not dating someone, and I'm like, so yeah, I became single this week. She was like, really? Interesting. And then, I don't know, a few conversations later, I'm like, because I'm oblivious to shit. You've got to tell me, like, I'd like to see your cock, or I never know. Like, if somebody wants to get with me, or like, hey, we should go out, you have to say it to me, because I'm like, I don't know, like autistic with that shit or something. Like, I don't know about social cues. I'm just like, they're cool, whatever. And so I was like, does our, and she was being blatant, like hitting on me, and I didn't know. I was like, as our context changes? She goes, I don't know, maybe. I'm like, so should we hang out in person to see if we actually like each other, or if we just like talking? And she's like, yeah, okay. So
you're definitely telling this story wrong.
Okay, then you tell it.
When I started talking to him, I was like, I had no idea who he was. And technically, I had crossed paths with him multiple times. And I even bought a record from him at one of Brian's show.
Brian McPherson, yeah.
Yeah. But I still had no idea who he was.
In fact, when we first started talking,
we first started talking, I was like, oh, you like Star Wars? I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. He was like quiet online for a little while, and then he started talking again.
Quiet online?
Well, messaging me or whatever. Like, I hadn't heard from him. I was like,
Betty's like,
out of sight, out of mind, like whatever. And then he reached out and we were talking, and then, I was like, what are you doing tonight? He's like, oh, just like watching Star Trek and drinking wine. I was like, oh, well, I'm going to go out. And he was like, oh, well, you have fun. That sounds nice. I'm going to go to bed. I was like, oh, okay. Like, oblivious. And then he's like, did our contacts change? Eventually.
I like that about you, Benny. I'm kind of the same. I am the same.
I was clueless, man.
I am super dumb too. Like, shit.
Looking at her, I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, my brain tried to go there, and I went, not a fucking chance, bro. Don't even put yourself there, because that's going to hurt. Don't do that. And that's what happened.
We went on a date, and then we caught COVID together.
Where'd you guys go on a date to?
First date was at the Mel.
We went to punk rock night, and we saw Pilots.
Hell yeah!
And what was it?
Fucked Out Brains.
Them and Lisa Frank and the Trapper Keepers, wasn't it?
No, I think it was Fucked Out Brains.
It was Fucked Out Brains. Yeah,
I remember that show.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was there for it.
Yep, that was at the end of 2020, and so
he was such a gentleman. He came to pick me up in his car, and we listened to Queen on the way. Did we listen to Queen on the way?
We did.
Yeah,
Queen and Bowie.
Like Queen and Bowie. Yeah.
And that's out of tone.
Yeah, that's weird, right, for us? Yeah. And I was like, so what are you doing after this? He's like, well, after I drop you off, I'm probably going to go home and drink wine and watch Star Trek. And I
have to say it and like take it for what it is. All right. I've known Benny for at least somewhere between 12 and 15 years. Somewhere in that range. I can't pinpoint it. But
10 to 12, I think.
I will never forget when y'all started dating, because that is now, like, from that moment until now, is my favorite version of Benny No Good. And the thing is, like, I hate saying version, because that's not how life works. There's no versions. We grow, right?
Right.
And people don't change; they grow, right? Blah blah blah. But man, the moment y'all got together, I've never seen this man so fucking happy in his goddamn life. And like I just knew when y'all first got together, I was like, this is it. Like, this is it. Like you could just sense the magic in the beauty in your relationship, and I've never seen the man so happy. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sid, because he's an amazing man, and it's amazing to see him so fucking happy. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
There's a secret to keeping men happy, though.
Is there? All right. People, get out your pens. I'm gonna write it down for notes. That way, 2 phrases.
You gotta keep his belly full and his balls empty. That's fucking simple.
Right on.
Which is why Benny does that for me all the time. He knows how to keep a man happy.
Hell yeah. It is a beautiful thing. You guys have great energy, which leads us into the conversation of Kinsey 6. So,
What?
is Kinsey 6 a did you hear that? That was weird.
It's like a burp before a burp.
Yeah, it's like a pre-burp. I just pre-burp.
So it was sweet?
Because you started talking about Kinsey 6.
Oh, yeah. There you
Everybody
go.
pre-comes when they talk about Kinsey 6. That's the way it happens.
Yummy.
So, I don't know. I guess in my head, I would imagine that the two of you are, living your awesome lives and hanging out with each other and playing music here and there, and then maybe so how did Kinsey 6? I'm assuming that it was the two of you, being in a relationship and being around each other.
Well, kind of, but
I had tried to get something off the ground a little bit prior to Kinsey 6. I'd say like fall of 2020. I met some pretty awesome dudes and tried to get something going. And it just one of them was moving, one of them lived far away, one of them had a bunch of different other projects going on. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, we'll try something different or try later or what have you. And then Ben and I started dating, and I had all these songs written and I had all these ideas and all this stuff. And he was like, well, I think you should try again. I think you should start something up. And I was like, I don't even know who I would contact, to be honest. And I was like, well, maybe I don't need a band. Maybe I don't need to play out. Maybe I can just record an album and get my ideas down, But I'm a very subpar drummer. And I cannot noodle on a bass or a guitar at all to save my life.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, well, at least the drummer, I can start first with some rhythm. And so I reached out to Randy and I was like, hey, I know that you have recording stuff at your house and you play drums. Would you mind just helping me record an album, because I want to do something there. And he was like, yeah, I can totally help you with that. And then Benny was like, how did you end up, what was the conversation where you ended up playing bass?
I mean, you
wild to me, by the way.
You had tried a couple of times to get something going and couldn't get people to commit or give the time to it or whatever. And I was like, why don't we just do something?
Yeah.
I'll play whatever. I don't care. I play all my own shit on my own albums, so I can play any instrument to get it going,
Yeah. And I think I talked to Randy and I was like, well, Ben will play bass and you're going to play some drums. And I was talking to him about the lyrics for these songs and the ideas that I had and this entire concept and a logo and this, persona and this whole act. Cause I saw the thing, I knew what logos would look like and all the marketing and I knew what merch I wanted. I had this whole bubble of shit that I wanted to do. And he's like, well, if he's going to play bass, and I'll play drums. We just got to find a guitarist and we can play out some shows. Let's try it. And then we got together with Daniel and all kind of looked at each other and we were like, hell yeah, this is gonna work out. And we just hit the ground running.
Hell yeah. So Kinsey 6, the name, where does that draw?
So the school of IU that is basically like the Kinsey Institute is the study of human sexuality. And they study everything from like STIs to the history of sex. They have like a collection of like 1,000-year-old dildos and shit. Like they study human sexuality, and they had
that's here in Lapel, right?
no, that's in Bloomington.
There might be a lot of dildos in lapel, but that's a different subject.
But yeah, and they had this thing back in I don't remember the date, that was basically the Kinsey scale of human sexuality, where like if you're a Kinsey 0, you're completely straight. There's no ideations or thoughts of any kind of anything but like straight sex. And then there's a Kinsey 6 that is like super gay. And so the scale, though, on which you fall is just kind of like your orientation scale or whatever. So I was like, well, you know, I'm this weird gender fluid queer person, and Benny's queer, and Daniel was queer, and Randy is an honorary, he's a spicy straight. You know, we just kind of, I was like, Kinsey 6.
Yeah, that is literally one of the best thought out band names out there.
Fuck yeah.
And I did not know this until now. So that's awesome.
How it happened.
That's good. I mean, that's the thing, is like nothing better than a band name that actually has meaning, you know, and if you look into it.
Right, like Korn. Sorry. The story behind their band name is like
I have
one of my
no
favorites.
clue.
I'll tell it when we're done talking about this. It's pretty
I mean,
funny.
I feel like you should just spin it.
I have no idea.
I don't know either. This is interesting.
Korn was hanging out with some people, and one of the guys was telling a story about how like he was on a date with another male presenting person, and basically like he got diarrhea while he was eating his ass, and there was corn in it. And Jonathan Davis and Fieldy and like all of them were like, that's it.
All right.
Corn. Yeah, you're welcome.
With a K?
Yeah.
And a backwards R.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But yeah, when it came to Kinsey 6, I was just like, and that sounds so cool. You know, it's like, it makes me think of like Nikki 6. Like he legally changed his name and he wanted it to be badass. And he was like, Nikki 6. And I just think that's cool.
Yeah.
But the 6 actually comes from like the Kinsey scale. So
right on.
then we did that weird corporate thing where we turn all the S's to Z's.
Yeah.
Because you have to.
Well, that makes it trademarkable. Otherwise, it would be
for real
or whatever.
Speaking of trademarks, it is now the time. We are at the moment in which we are going to hear a word from our sponsors.
Nice.
At Punk Rock Night. As soon as I find the video. And click. Here you go.
Looking for something to do Saturday night? Do you like punk rock? Well, look no further. Every Saturday night is Punk Rock Night at the Melody Inn. The best local, regional, and touring acts hit the stage every Saturday for an amazing time. Check punkrocknight.com for details, or follow us on all the social medias to get weekly updates on what's going on. Doors are 8 p.m., shows start at 9 p.m. It's a bar, folks, so you have to be at least 21 to join in on the fun. And hey, there's free parking! Plus, every Thursday we present the PRN Live Feed Show, where we talk about last week's show, preview this week's show, and announce all the big things we have coming up. Punk Rock Night, a proud sponsor of Chopped Liver.
Commercials over. Welcome back. All right. Thanks to Punk Rock Night for sponsoring us.
Thanks, Punk Rock Night.
Every Saturday at the Melody Inn is Punk Rock Night. And Kinsey 6 is playing this coming Saturday at the Punk Rock Night Pride Show.
Hell yeah. We're
And
pretty
what
proud of it.
were those bands again?
Flummox, Killing Pixies, and Kinsey Six.
Sick, bro.
Bruh. Wait, hold on. What was it again?
Flummox, Killing Pixies, and got some local band.
Some local band. So who's playing guitar Saturday?
We don't have a guitarist anymore.
Okay.
We tried a couple of guys, and the vibe wasn't there for us. So we were like, what if we took like a two-piece instrumental approach, more like the White Stripes kind of thing, you know, or like that sort of a vibe. So we kept a few of our old songs. We've written several new ones, but everything is very much like I set up a pedal board, like I've got fuzz and distortion and an octave and stuff, and we just completely reinvented ourselves just to kind of sidestep. You know, it's hard to find somebody who wants to be committed to being in a band and not be flaky or strung out or some fucking weirdo asshole. It's just hard to find that in music because, I mean, let's face it, we're all musicians. We're all kind of fucking weirdos, but you need a specific kind of weirdo.
You need a queerdo.
Right? And it's tough to find, you know, it's a lot of shit to wade through. And so we were like, well, we need to keep, you know, up on our chops or whatever the fuck, you know? And so like we started jamming with just me and her and Randy. And it was like, man, that sounded really cool. What if I got a pedal board? So I hit up my friend Paul. I'm like, hey, man, you know, or I posted, I was looking for some bass pedals. And he was like, I got a bunch of crap at the house, man. You guys come out. And I told him kind of what I was looking for. Like, I have these pedals in mind that I think would be a really good sound for us. And we went out and I plugged into a few, figured out the setup that I wanted, picked those up from him. And then we just started writing.
And you're playing with the bass.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, it's her singing and Randy on drums and me and my bass and like 4 pedals, and that's it.
It was going to be hard anyway. I mean, especially after losing Daniel, like finding another guitarist was going to be like a needle in a gigantic haystack.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. It kind of feels, it felt weird trying to find a guitarist. And we knew it was going to be a hard fit just because of like the kind of guitar it was. And, you know, stepping into a new band that's already established is weird for the guitarist. Like it was just going to be really difficult. And it was there's a lot emotionally to process as well. And so I think, especially with what we're doing now and some of the new stuff that we have, it's pretty funky. When you leave it to the rhythm section, it's going to be cool as shit.
Hell yeah.
Well, and that's something that's done with me is like, I've had to like sort of step up my presence on my playing. So I think it's made me be a more creative player because I'm trying to fill more space with my bass. Where before I was just kind of holding it down or I'd have a groove or whatever. Now I'm trying to really fill it out. So there's a different sort of approach that you have to take when you're doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you know you don't have a guitar to just chill behind, you know, you've got to be the presence. So it's pushed me to like write better licks and play with a little more aggression, a little more heart, that kind of thing. You know? Not that I was ever laying back anyway, but it's like it's more at the front of my mind that I've really got to be like present all the time.
I lyrically, like the new stuff, I don't even really like sing anymore. I have to find this groove with the rhythm to be able to lay lyrics down. And it is, I don't know, one of our songs is almost kind of like Jack White and the Beastie Boys had a baby. Like it's very much like a classic hip hop drum, a very funk groove heavy bass, but kind of like punky. I don't even know how to explain it. And my lyrics are literally like a rap cadence. And so it's kind of, I don't know. It's been really, honestly, fun to just kind of like reevaluate and literally just put everything in the box and shake it and see what comes out.
Hell yeah.
It's been really cool.
Yeah. Before I would write like I would write a bass line by myself at home. She'd be at work or whatever, and I'd be like, oh, I'm just chilling at the house, whatever. I'll pick up my bass and do, and I'll record it with my phone when I find something I like, and I'll be like, hey guys, look what I did. And now it's like I need Randy there because this has got to be a group. This has got to be a jam with the both of us playing it. And so like now I'll wait until like either we're waiting for Randy to show up and she's just kind of sitting behind the drums playing a rhythm till I can play over it, or like Randy will be there and we'll write it together. But even the writing styles change. Like the method of writing is different because I'm not writing in a vacuum. Like I just need the bass part, and then Daniel's going to play this, and then Randy's going to do that, and Sid's going to sing this. It was like these have got to be like jams from the go. And if it doesn't feel right, I can throw it out, start another one.
It's honestly though, like I make jokes all the time about, I bet Randy and Benny's back hurts from carrying the talent of this band, because like I'm always like, thanks for letting me be in your band, guys, because they're awesome. Like I'll just hear a song in the car and I'll maybe like write a line or two down and have this idea of like, what if the drums were like this and the bass was and I'll just stand in front of them in a room and be like, can you just like or well, like whatever, and like I will try to musically tell them like, this is what I'm thinking, and then they'll just start playing and I just stand back and go
Gelling.
Wow, and then we'll record a bit of it, I'll write on it, and that's a song. It's been kind of funky.
Did you guys ever consider picking up a keyboard?
Yes.
They'd have to be pretty light, man. My back can't handle much.
There's some good keyboards out here.
There are, and we actually might end up needing one. By the way, if you're a keyboardist and you're watching this, or you know one, you
can come tickle our ivories.
We're possibly doing something interesting that we need help with from keys on. We can't say anything, but if you're a keyboardist, please reach out.
All right.
Oh yeah.
And what's your Instagram handle for Kinsey6?
Fuck. Kinsey6.
Let me look.
I know TikTok is Kinsey6 Band.
It's Kinsey6. That's it. KINZIESIKZ. That's the handle.
Yeah, I Googled the band name like 7 different times trying to make sure it wasn't already out there, and it wasn't.
And then I'll put the link out in case anybody wants to come on the show.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I figured if moving on, a keyboardist would be a good option there. I do see some bands out there rocking out with a keyboardist more than usual, I guess. I don't know. We're kind of in a movement anyways right now, so at least in the sense of music in the scene. So, but yeah. So these songs that you guys are writing, is there any direction that you're heading lyrically, Sid?
What do you mean by direction?
Like, what are you writing about?
Oh shit. I mean, what we've always been writing about, honestly, we're either talking about like the queer experience, we're being hypersexual, or we're talking shit. And there's no, it's like, and I mean talking shit by like throwing shade. Like
Throwing shade.
All of the lyrics. I mean, look, if you look at Sit Down, I mean, that one is literally just like, oh. A lot of shit talking. It's fun, you just kind of get together, and I don't know. I think Randy on a couple of songs is like, oh, I have this idea for, something. And honestly, some of our nastiest songs Randy has like offered lyrics for. And I'm like, hell yeah, Mr. Fox, way to go.
I offer up a few things for the shit talkers.
Yeah. And
I'm good for that.
Mm-hmm.
I write a lot of the queer. I write a lot of the queer experience.
I love that the first comment when we announced the Benny, Benny was having Benny NoGood on the podcast. The first person to comment, it was Lane Birch, and he said, "What did he say? Hot takes or something like that." I was like, "All right, wait, whatever." But yeah, I was like, first comment, hot takes. I was like, pay attention to the show. Like, people come on and we try. The whole purpose is to like, hey, this is our guest, and guess what? we're going to talk about how they became an artist. And, you know, to get to know the
Artist is a strong word. I'm loud though.
yeah, you're loud for sure, man. Especially some of them. Like, man, the Enders, if you haven't seen the Enders, it's like true hardcore. True hardcore.
The Enders, by the way, I actually have news. We're moving out of the stagnant kind of state that we've been in since before COVID. I had a bunch of personal shit go down in like the last 2 years before COVID hit, which kind of forced me to put the brakes on a lot of stuff, and I had to kind of resituate. And then COVID hit, and everything just fell apart. Right. So we have about an EP's worth of songs that I had written back then, and we actually posted demos of them, of 2 of them, on Facebook already back then in like 2018. And we are in the next week or two going to sit down and start working those up and getting them ready to start playing them out live.
Yeah, new Enders. What's
trying to look at recording by the end of the year. Now, being that I'm almost 50, I am tired of fucking screaming. I'm sick of it. I just don't have it in me anymore. The angst is kind of like washed away, I guess. I'm very content.
Yeah.
Now my life is not what it was then.
Fair.
So it's still heavy. There's definitely a really like a hardcore edge to it, but instead of like sick of it all, think more like Face to Face. There's a lot more melodic element to it. I'm doing more singing than I am screaming on the newer stuff. There's even going to be some vocal harmonies. Like it's a wildly different take. It still sounds like us. It's just not the Ruins of Ambition.
Yeah.
You know.
I got you.
No more My Television, huh?
Yeah, no, fuck that song. I hurt myself recording that, and every time I played it live, I would like force so much air out of my lungs that I would black out. And I was like, I'm good. I don't need to play that anymore.
How long have you been off cigarettes? Like, how long did you quit?
Well, I was quit for a few years, and then I started back, and I smoked for about a year, and then I quit again. So.
Yeah, I quit like 3 years ago. So.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things, you know. I definitely need to eventually, but I can't like force myself, you know.
Yeah.
But when the time is right, I'll do it. Yeah.
When we first started Kenzie 6, I was smoking, and then I quit. And it was weird that my songs became really weird or difficult to sing because I was so used to having this like rasp and being like choked back.
Now all of a
and
sudden
then it was like,
yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, girl, you need to shit like that.
Oh, I need to like search out my range now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah. It makes me want. Like, that's definitely like number one on my thing. Like, if I were to quit smoking, it would definitely be to open up my range. Yeah. Because I do have range, I just don't have the lung capacity for it. So
that's something we're really excited for because it's some of those songs. The lyrics are a lot more personal too. Like I wrote me instead of like politics or whatever. There's a lot of just me in these songs.
Experience.
Yeah, and so
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
They're badass songs.
I'm really excited
to
get those like work back up and start playing them. But we're not even trying to record them before we start playing them live. We're just gonna have a new set, you know, and then we'll worry about like recording an EP. I almost kind of want to go the route to like record 2 and do a digital release, and then record 2 more and do a digital release, and then record 2 more and do that. And then once we have like 8 or 10 songs, then offer like a CD. Like, I don't give a fuck about vinyl or tapes or any of that other bullshit, man. If somebody wants a physical copy, cool. If they want to download it, cool. Nobody.
Yeah, like $50 a year.
Doesn't fucking matter. I mean, plus, like, getting vinyl done right now, like, so many plants have shut down after COVID and all this shit. And, like, one of the biggest plants in the world just burnt to the ground a couple of years ago. So, the weight on vinyl right now, it's insanely expensive. But it's also, like the wait to get it done. Like you order your record and then like a year and a half, 2 years later, you get your record. Like, what's the fucking point? Like the fire's gone at that point. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
You write songs and wait 3 years to play them out.
See, I'm the kind of guy like, I'm going to buy that vinyl. because I'm nostalgic and I like having things in my hand and being able to like look at it and be like, ooh, I remember,
Yeah.
But really, like, let's be real. 2023 and everybody like listens to their music online,
Yeah.
streams, so $50 a year or maybe even less than that, you can just put it out there and listen to it. Like I'm an iTunes guy, so everybody else is Spotify, part of like the 10% or whatever. But whenever an album drops, I get notified if I follow the artist or whatever, and it's already there, and I listen to it.
Yeah.
It's a lot different now, where like CDs is like pretty much a waste of time. Like people are, for me, like I used to have, I had a CD player in my truck, and I did like I listened to the CDs. I would put it in whenever I leave the show, I'm going home, I put it in and listen to it, and I'll sit there. Sometimes like, wow, this is great, and sometimes I'll be like, oh my god, whatever. But I'm like, it's so rare. People don't actually, they'll buy it and they'll take it home, and then you'll have they'll have a stack of fucking CDs. But realistically, it's all social media. Buy a shirt, buy the fucking shirt.
Yeah, buy the shirt.
But we're just in that new era. I'll say this though, man, based off of what you just said, I'm excited to see this new set, because to me, like what you're saying is this is more me. This is more Benny NoGood. It's not like you're talking about this. You're talking about this is you speaking of your experiences through song, which means we're going to get one hell of a fucking show, because the best music is when somebody can express themselves in such a manner. And to me, what you're saying is this new Ender set or album or the new music that we're about to hear is much more personal. And
yeah, like
the more
there's
personal
a song on there about like my response to finding out that my biological father had died. He was literally one of the worst people I ever met in my life. So like when I got the news that he had passed away, it was like 3 months after he died. I didn't even know because I didn't talk to him. And like my mom called me and she was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that your dad died and stuff." And I was like, "Cool, thanks." Like fucking who cares? Good, I think is what I said. Good. And so I thought about it and mulled it over, and like ended up writing a song called Catharsis. And it was just about like wading through all of the fucking shit that he left on me and making sense of it and putting it away, compartmentalizing it and just getting rid of it. So that's one of them. There's a few others like that, and I still do some of the old subject matter too, but there's a lot more of me in this one.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. I mean, that's the thing is like, when you listen to music, and I've spent my whole life just, I mean, honestly, like there's songs to me that will always hold so heavy to me. And at the end of the day, it's always going to be the ones that are more personal. Like, yeah, you're talking about your dad. It's just like, it hits, you know what I mean? And those stories, it affects people. And that's the beauty of music, is like, it's not just about like what makes your feet move, although that's an amazing thing. It's also what moves you and what delivers and what hits you, in that story. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it's like the older Ender stuff, man. Look at like one of the most popular songs in our live set for the last 10 years has been fucking What Have I? And it's just about like trying to find confidence, like being scared to fucking face things.
Yeah.
And it's a very high energy, like fast, upbeat sounding song. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's just like, maybe I'll try to do this. It's like almost like trepidation about making a move. So, I mean, I guess I kind of already did that, but in a less obvious sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
indirect.
Yeah, if you read the lyrics of that one, man, it's very much like I don't have the confidence to make this move or to do this thing, and I don't know if I can do it. But what if I did?
Yeah.
I think that's like anytime you don't feel confident in something, that question, what if I did? That's the first step. Like everybody's like, all you got to do is take the first step. The first step is thinking you can take the first step. That process is like
think,
Maybe.
yeah, we internally are the only people that tell ourselves like we have limits. Because you can set your mind to it and you can make that decision and that first step. You are the one that's saying, no, you can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And once you cross that threshold of like the mental line, that's when shit starts happening.
Yeah. But over time, though, you forget about that first step. And then it's all of a sudden now it's just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. You know, that's the big one. Like once you get that past that first step, that is the big one.
Yeah.
Consistency, staying consistent, doing the same thing, not losing your drive, not losing your energy and your fucking hope, and just keep going. So,
and that's something like, and I don't think I'm alone in this by any means, but like the whole COVID shutdown, man, like getting back out there and getting back on stage again, or like trying to book tours and stuff, like in half of the venues that we used to all, like a lot of myself and a lot of people that toured the same circuits as I did, dude, half to 3/4 of the fucking venues that I used to talk to about getting shows are gone. They all shut down.
Yeah.
You know, there's nobody fucking there. Like you have to build a whole new line of contacts. If I wanted to book a tour for the Enders now, I'd be starting from scratch. I used to have like an established group of venues and people that I would talk to that would like get a show set up and host us for the night and give us somewhere to crash. That shit's gone. Yeah. Like it's starting from zero. It's not like, I mean, it's one thing for like big bands that have like booking agencies and do this shit and that shit for them, If you're doing it yourself, your contact network is fucking shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all new people.
Yep. I've seen that in the underground too, like house shows. House shows before the pandemic, they'd steal some, like there's a good house show, they would steal away from like the live music venue.
Yeah.
And people would be building house shows, but now, not so much. Not so much.
Yeah.
A lot of changes came through that.
And that shit's still out there too, man. You see people all the time, like bands canceling tours because so and so got COVID. We got to stay home now.
Mm-hmm.
Or they get halfway through a tour and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna fuck off home, man, because so and so's sick." It's still out there. It's not what it was, but it's still making the rounds pretty heavy.
Do you have a house show that you play that kind of stands out?
Ah, fuck.
I know it's a deep thought, considering we're going back to the 1940s.
I played a show. It wasn't a house show. It was in somebody's pasture once in Texas.
You played a pasture?
Yeah, they backed up 2 fucking flatbed 18-wheeler trailers and made a stage out of them. And they had like 6 fucking gasoline generators that were like on really long extension cords far enough away from the stage that they wouldn't drown out the music. And we played a fucking show. Some friend of our bass player's sister's birthday or some shit, man. And it was in Northeast Texas, out in the middle of goddamn nowhere. And we're out there, we set up and we do our sound check and stuff, and we're just like sitting around having a beer and hanging out, waiting for the party to start. And then everybody starts showing up, and it's like cowboy hats and boots, and we're like, God damn it. What in
Welcome
the
to Texas.
fuck is going on? We're gonna get murdered. And so we're just like, fuck it, man. We play our set, and they were actually really cool. But the funniest thing about that is we were covering Bulls on Parade, and it's just that.
Yeah,
you have to fucking dance to that, right? So like we're playing Bulls on Parade, and these dudes, like, it's like the dew has fallen because it's at night now, and they're in cowboy boots, and they're out there like trying to mosh and pogo and shit to Bulls on Parade, and they're like falling all over the fucking ground. Because their boots it was funny. It was so funny. So that was probably like my favorite non-venue show, because just the spectacle of this bizarre instance of cowboys moshing in the pasture and falling over themselves was just too much to forget.
It's amazing how that works out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I did an acoustic set at a place called Wits End down in, like, what is that? Franklin or Greenwood. And I remember pulling up, and it's nothing but motorcycles. It might be like 3 vehicles, but all motorcycles. And my ex-wife and I walk in there, and I see the guy that booked me. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And had this conversation with him. I'm like, are you, I don't, and there's like a country band on as I'm sitting here talking to dude. And I was just like, I don't see how this is gonna go over well. I just assumed because it was basically a biker bar and a bunch of biker people, and I'm about to do an acoustic set. They were like in love. They fucking loved it. Everybody was like getting down and dancing. I was like, never judge a book by its cover. Fuck that. And it's a big lesson in life right there, right? Never judge. It's always about character. And I'll tell you what, that was my last show that I had done like an acoustic open mic type scenario. Well, I was booked to play it. It wasn't an open mic, but I was like doing acoustic stuff. And that show, I had a conversation with the guy that booked me, and I was telling him like, oh, I just joined this band called Pigtail Crooks. I'm going to play punk guitar and lead like for this punk band. And he looks at me, he's like, you ain't playing punk. What are you talking about? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's like the first band I ever did was punk. And that's fucking history, I ended up going to the Melody Inn for the first time and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, the moral of the story is never judge a book by its cover. And obviously, like that show you had down in Northeast Texas, it was like you said, a bunch of cowboy boots and whatnot. And then boom, there you are, fucking entertain the shit out of them. So yeah, hell yeah.
And another one of my bands played the clubhouse for a bike gang once. And the guy that was running sound was being a complete fucking dickhead and like just making our monitors turn them down on purpose, just being an asshole, right? Because we were doing like pop punk stuff, and this is a bike clubhouse, and they wanted heavy or whatever. And so like the guys in the club were all like side eyeing what we were doing and stuff and everything. And then the sound guy kept being such an overt dickhead that a couple of the guys were like, man, fuck, like just let them finish and be done, fuck, but some of the other guys were like, get him the fuck out of here, And so I was like, man, this show has gone horribly wrong anyway, so fuck it. And we had a cover worked up of This Place Sucks by the Queers. And I said, hey, man, let's do this. And they were like, you're fucking crazy. And I'm like, nah, man, we're going to do it. We're going to play This Place Sucks. So I'm like, hey, this song is, this is for you guys, but specifically that motherfucker. And just pointed at the sound booth, and we played that. And after that, all the other guys were like, fuck yeah. Hey, man, you're right. He's a dick. So that saved that show. Oh, God, that reminds me, the best one. This is the best story. This is the last story I'll tell about a show. This is the best one.
Oh, man. Don't say that, because as soon as you're done, we're going to talk about the show.
Oh, God. The band Civil Disorder that I was in, we played a show in Monroe, Louisiana. And while we were playing, I guess the club that we played in, like the weekend 2 weeks before or something, had got a minor had got caught in there or something. So the cops were really fucking harassing the club a lot. And that band was like metal, right? So back then, like clubs expected you to play for like 3 hours. So you always had a whole bunch of covers in your set unless you were just like a very, very established band. So we had a bunch of different styles of covers worked in that we could rotate in and out, and like we all knew them.
Yeah.
So we're on stage and we're like halfway through one of our songs, and the fucking cops walk in and they just start going table to table, harassing everybody and asking for IDs and just being just piggish bullshit, just like small town fucking southern, like Louisiana bullshit, like you see on TV, like those fucking guys. And so like I was like, hold up, and I just quit singing. And one of the covers we had worked up was The Badge by Poison Idea.
Hell yeah.
So we started playing it. I was like, hey, we're gonna do The Badge. And they were like, nope, fuck you. I'm like, nah, we're gonna fucking do it. And this is like Cajun ass fucking coon ass goddamn Louisiana, like super, super Cajun.
Preparing for beer bottles.
Yeah, oh God. And so we went into it And this big ass Cajun dude in the very back of the fucking club stood up and went, "Fuck yeah!" and threw his fucking chair at a cop, and the whole club just went boom. And we were like, "Oh fuck, oh fuck."
Did you continue playing the song?
Did you get?
We finished it.
Fuck
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
We finished the song, so we're playing The Badge by Poison Idea, and it's like, you know, young, dumb, fucking bullshit cop stuff, and they're fighting the cops, and the cops just leave. We finish our show, and everybody has a good laugh about it. And everything like, wow, that was fucking crazy. And so we pack up our shit, we get paid, we're heading out of town, and we're like, man, I'm fucking starving. So we go into Waffle House and we sit down.
Of course, it was a Waffle House.
Yeah, of course it's a Waffle House, right? We go into Waffle House and we sit down. We get our food ordered. We're sitting there with our fucking coffees. In come 4 of those cops and sit at the table right across from us, and we were just like, "Shit, hey, how's it going?" And it was like they knew we didn't mean to like cause a fucking riot, so like they weren't being shitty to us, but it was just this really weird, awkward exchange of like glances and polite hellos. Like, we just got chairs thrown at you, and they were like, "We just fucked your show up, and like we'll just coexist here quietly, and then we'll leave." It was really, really odd. It could have gone way worse. I think after the event, they probably got a kick out of how insane that was, too.
Yeah.
Again, they were, you know, small town Louisiana cops, and crazy shit happens. They're good old boys. They're like, man, that was fucking crazy, right? So like they were just looking at us like, holy fuck, and we were looking at them like, oh fuck. So it didn't go bad, but it was definitely an experience.
So did you guys all go back to the hotel and party, or?
Nah, I mean, I blew 2 of them in the parking lot, but that was it.
Right on.
You blew what?
No, I didn't. We finished our meals and we left.
Right on.
Different kind of sausage with your all-star breakfast.
Yeah.
So, kind of backtracking to what we were talking about earlier, I was mentioning I joined a band called Pigtail Crooks, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I was introduced to the Teenage Bottle Rocket and the Lillingtons. Now, I had heard a couple of Lillington songs, and lo and behold, the first time I got to see the Lillingtons was due to Mr. NoGood here booking the show, getting the show lined up, and right behind Benny's left shoulder, you will see the flyer from said show.
That I drew.
That's right.
You drew that?
Yeah. In case anybody wondered, like, because that's on every show that we do. It's right there. It's literally in the main shot, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of a kudos because I love the Lillingtons. I love TBR. I love all bands from that pretty much genre or whatnot, but definitely my favorite. You know, I've been a huge TBR fan. Every time as soon as the album comes out, I buy it. You know, I've got all their albums on vinyl. I know that guy, but yeah, let's talk about that show. Let's talk about that show.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. When I first started playing, like, I bounced around between punk and metal for a long time. Different styles of punk.
Are you sure?
Different bands.
Have you seen the Enders? Anyways.
But like when I really started like homing in like on a specific brand, I guess, of pop punk or whatever that I would become proficient with or whatever, I guess. Like back in the early Napster days, like you remember really, really early Napster when you would get part of a song from one source and part from another, and it had this little like
yeah
right in the middle, and it would skip for like a half second. Yeah, I found the Lillingtons' first EP, Shit Out of Luck, on there. So like I don't remember, it was either Alien Girl or Teenage Asshole. One of those two was my first Lillington song, and I was just like, oh my god, who are these guys? This is fucking amazing. So like I've been a fan of them since then, because where I lived in Northeast Texas, it was like a punk rock desert, man. There was nobody else listening to it, and it was just like you just get online with slow ass fucking like whole day long fucking song downloads and find what you could get.
Yeah.
And so like I was bouncing around on Napster and destroying my mom's computer, fucking viruses, trying to find music. And but yeah, I found them then and became a fan, and I started following them, and you know, when they would release new music, I would get it. Then I moved to the Midwest, and where I was living in Lafayette, Sonic Iguana Studios was based there. And I kept seeing Sonic Iguana, like all these fucking bands that I love, like the Lillingtons and the Queers and all these other bands, all recorded their shit there. Anti-Flag, fucking Rise Against. Everybody recorded their shit in that studio. And I was like, holy shit, they do a lot of punk, man. That's an awesome studio. Never looked at where it was located, right? I just all recorded at Sonic Iguana. Cool, awesome. So when I formed the Enders, I was like, yeah, I got an EP worth of songs, and a couple of my friends up there were like, where are you going to record? And I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. I just got to find a studio. And they're like, dude, you play punk, why don't you just go to Sonic Iguana? And I was like, fuck, I wish. Where even is that? And they were like, it's like over off Cassuth Street. And I was like, I live over there. What? And they were like, yeah, it's that building and blah, blah, blah. And they told me where it was. And I'm like, 3 blocks from my fucking house, man. No way. And so I hit them up, man, and got a hold of Mass. And like we recorded the first Enders EP, and then we did The Ruins of Ambition there, and then recorded the first Benny the NoGood album there. And that one was cool because that was like me and Mass in the studio and nobody else. He engineered and mastered that album for me. And anywhere there's like gang vocals on there, those are just me and Mass together, layered. So Master Genie's the producer and the engineer and backing vocals on the first fucking Benny NoGood record. So that was a cool experience to get to go up there and do that. And that was like, I recorded the drums and the bass and the guitars. I had a double discectomy infusion from a work injury, and both of those discs had completely been blown out, like catastrophically all at once. And so like the nerves in my shoulder and left arm didn't work. So I would have to record like a minute of drums and then punch back in and record another minute. My arm would just go limp. Like the nerves were almost dead. So that's the way we recorded everything. And I was on I think I was on a stack of like Lortab and gabapentin. So I had to learn the solos that I recorded on that album by listening to the album, because I couldn't remember playing them. Because those nerve pills and the pain pills they had me so fucking like loopy that I knew how to play still, but I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't consciously like memorizing stuff. I was playing something that sounded cool in the moment, and then it was gone. So once we got the album done and all the edits were done and everything, then I took the masters and sat down and relearned what I had done for the record, because I couldn't remember it. So we finished all that, and then I went and I had surgery, and then 2 weeks after I had spinal surgery, I went back and recorded all the vocals. So that was
which you weren't supposed to be doing.
I know I wasn't supposed to be doing, but you have to suffer for rock and roll, man. That's what you do.
This was what, 2012?
That was 2018.
Oh, okay.
It was the first of 2017, 18. That was when I did the first record.
Okay. I was thinking of the Enders.
Yeah, the Enders, The Ruins of Ambition was 2012.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we recorded a couple of singles between then and now, and then after that is the new stuff that's coming up. Never intended for it to be that long between albums, but shit happens.
How good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Was this when they were down in Bloomington?
No, Sonic Iguana was never in Bloomington. They were originally, it was in downtown Lafayette, like upstairs, down on like Main Street.
Wrong.
And then they moved into this other building, which is where I recorded with them, in another part of Lafayette. But that drum room sounded so fucking good, man.
I heard they moved their operation.
Yeah, he moved to Rome. So like now it's Sonic Iguana Rome.
Oh, like Sublime.
Yeah, it's Sonic Iguana with Rome.
That is good. That was good. It deserves the button. That was a good one.
So yeah, I won't be recording with Sonic Iguana
Yeah.
in the foreseeable
It's a hell
future.
of, it's a hell of
Unless I want to fly a whole band to Italy.
Right.
But
Wait, they moved to Italy?
I'm glad, yeah.
I mean, what?
But I'm glad that I got to do that because, like I said, man, it was like walking into that studio and seeing all of the albums on the wall.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had like a framed copy of everything he recorded in there. And I mean, just seeing, you know, the Lillingtons and the Queers and Rise Against and Anti-Flag and all this stuff all over the walls. It was just like, holy fuck. Like the drum set that I played on that album was fucking Dan from Screeching Weasels. Like the same drum kit that they recorded with.
Are they from Fort Wayne?
Chicago.
Okay. But somebody in the band lives in Fort Wayne, right?
One of the guys in the band lives there in Lafayette. Two of the guys did.
Okay.
This Mass did, and then Dan did. And then the other guys were from Chicago. But yeah, that was pretty neat. Like, don't need to get drums. He's like, oh, I'll talk to Dan and see if you can play his. I was like, okay, cool. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
Be cool, Benny. Be cool. Don't freak out.
Yeah, if you go to their website and you can like check out all the albums, it's kind of like jaw dropping because I own so many of them.
Yeah, that was me, man. Like I'd listened to so much of that shit over the years, and I just kept seeing like recorded at Sonic One. I mastered at Sonic One.
Place that you found tapes or something in the.
Oh yeah, like the album that Anti-Flag had, they had "Die for Your Government" on it.
Mm-hmm.
We were sitting there like listening to the mixes of the first Enders EP, and just hanging out in the studio part of the control room, listening to the mix. And I'm just like rifling through. There's just like drawers of shit. You know how it goes. You got a studio set up, and you got like CDs and wires and cables and stuff laying around. And I'm just kind of thumbing through stuff like out of boredom while we're listening, just to give myself something to do because I'm ADHD and I can't do one goddamn thing at once. I have to do two things. So I'm like listening, but I'm also fucking around. And I pick up this CD, and it was like Sharpied on it, like Anti-Flag, blah, 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 in studio master or demos. And it was when they were, because they would write part of their album like in the studio. Like they'd get their final arrangements down or like fix the lyrics or whatever.
Expensive.
So I had that, well, yeah, they had the money to do it though.
Yeah, fair enough.
But like I had in my hand, like the demo of Anti-Flag writing that record, like in my hand.
Hell yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Fucking, yeah. Hell yeah, man.
So yeah, there was a lot of geek out there, but fast forward a long time, and I had done some shows with the Lillingtons out of town, and I was like, dude, how come you guys, you know, don't ever stop in Indy? And they were like, oh, we did like 20 years ago, and it was Tim, and it turns out he was misremembering. They had actually never played Indy. I'm like, how have you never played Indianapolis, man? What the fuck? Let me set us a show up, man. Let me do this. And they were like, all right, we'll see what you can, you know, put together. And so like I started going back and forth between like them and Rich and trying to help find a venue and doing this thing and that thing and back and forth. And then at one point, I think it fucking like it stalled over like probably fucking money or something, but there was something happened where it was like, oh, we're not going to come together on the show. And I was like, God damn it, no, I refuse to not let this happen now. We've gotten so close. Like, let's make this fucking happen. And so like, I kept being liaison and like the idea sort of fell off for like a week, and then talk started back up, and we ended up getting the show at White Rabbit put together, and it ended up happening. And then we got them here a few more times before they broke up after that.
Yeah,
that's how that happened. Was I was just like, nope, it's too close to being a yes to be a no now, and I'm not going to let that fucking take place. So let's just see what everybody can do.
Thanks, Benny,
to make that happen.
Yeah. That's pretty much what.
And it fucking that place was
insanely
packed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was there. It was wild.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Most definitely.
You know, we ended up getting them back for Punk Rock Night a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So it was great.
Yeah. So which leads me into what would you say that's like? Who's your biggest hero that you've gotten to play with in your time? I know it's a big one, but I know you've definitely played them. So,
I mean, obviously the Lillingtons are one. I mean, the Dead Kennedys. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how many people get to say they get to play with fucking Dead Kennedys?
Yeah.
That's something. I don't know about heroes, but we got to open for the Mahones once. That was awesome. Me and Finney got really drunk before the show because we were sitting at the motor table drinking whiskey.
Mahones?
The Vogue.
Pretty sure.
Probably.
in so many shows.
That was a really loose set for me because Benny is also Irish, and we sat around and shot Jameson at the merch tables before the show.
Do you remember the show?
Not really. I just remember it not being great. Like that was a mistake.
Where was that at?
That was at the Vogue.
Yeah.
And then we turned around too. I don't know why they kept sticking me with Irish punk bands. That's weird. But they also we got booked and played with the Real Mackenzies too. So that was fun.
Man, all
Jesus Christ,
dude,
I don't know,
like
man. I've played
thinking
with so
about
many
these
fucking bands.
shows though, like I'm just like, oh my god, oh, like makes me feel old.
I mean, we've played with Voodoo Glow Skulls and Total Chaos and a bunch of other bands. Like I don't at this point I don't even remember. The Enders got invited to play when Dan Vapid and the Cheats put out their second album.
That was the first time I met Dan Vapid, that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to Chicago and played at the Cobra Lounge with them for the record release because Dan liked us and was like, "Hey, I want you guys to come."
That
to
was
the show.
Punk Shots Tom show, right? The Dan Vapid and the Cheat show, or was that a punk rock night?
No, it wasn't Tom.
I can't remember.
No, this is one in Chicago that we did though. Like they had their record release up at the Cobra Lounge.
You didn't play the Vapid show, the Dan Vapid and the Cheat show?
Not down here, I didn't.
Okay,
no.
okay.
We played with them in Lafayette, and then we played with them in Chicago. So yeah, but we played with him a couple of times in Lafayette when he would come through, and then when they put the album out up there, he was like, "Hey man, it's like us and this band and that band, and we'd like you guys to come play with us." Oh, what?
Hell yeah.
What? And it was really funny because the other bands, like they're very like pop punk, on the mellow side of pop punk, and there were a couple other pop punk bands on the show, and then the Enders opened it, like 2012-14 era, like at our hardest. Opened this show, and like this whole front row of this club is standing in front of us, like, what the fuck is happening? But we got through it, and it was fun. We had a great time.
I was so ready to see Vapid and Cheats because I was like, so at that time, like when they were playing, I was such a huge Methadones fan.
Yeah, I love the Methadones, man. We did. Remember we did that cover of Ammunition?
Yeah.
That's on our fucking Bandcamp page.
I had to say though, all time of all the bands that I've seen you play in, like respect to Sir Mix-a-Lot, Kids These Things, but yeah, Benny NoGood, you guys would do. I've never heard anybody else cover it, but I Want to Be a Homosexual by Screeching Weasel.
Oh yeah, that was the Enders.
Was that the Enders?
Yeah.
Man, can't keep track.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, such a badass cover, you know?
Yeah, that's a great fucking song.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like seeing where Ben ended up opinion wise, which is not a great place. But that at one point, like he wrote a song as a straight guy, which was completely respectful of the queer community and became like this sort of like adopted queer anthem for a lot of people on the punk scene, like that were queer. They're like, hey, this song's perfect, man.
Yeah.
And it's wild that he went from being like this like ally who was so respected that like prominent figures in the queer community like picked him up and was like, hey, I want to do an intro for this song. We're going to, play it at this thing or that thing. And him ending up kind of where he did on the opinion spectrum it's wildly fucking disappointing, man.
Well, let's think about when he wrote that song,
Yeah.
You don't have the balls.
Well,
to be a homosexual.
You know how it started, like why they wrote that, right? It was because of an indie band.
Mm-hmm.
Sloppy Seconds
Mm-hmm.
had I Don't Want to Be a Homosexual. And they weren't really being homophobic. It was just like, I really like pussy and I'm glad I'm not gay. It was just tongue-in-cheek being goofy bullshit. But Ben, being fucking Ben Weasel, was like, oh, you guys are being fucking homophobes. I'm going to write this song in answer to it and like call them out and try to start beef and all this stuff. And this is a story I've been told about it, right?
Right.
But basically, he did that to kind of like start beef with somebody just because Ben was being fucking Ben.
Yeah.
But it was so well done that everybody was like, holy fuck, this is great.
Yeah. For me, the first time I remember hearing it for the first time and like listening to it and trying to take in the words, and it was like, if you think about it, growing up in the '90s, so I'm 83, I'm about to be 40, and my twin brother's gay, and I had tons of friends growing up that were gay, bisexual, whatnot, and it was always like the meaning behind that song is so important because it's like you don't fucking get it. Like you don't get to sit here and like act like you fucking do, because at the end of the fucking day, to be out in that era in the '90s was like fuck you, I am me, and in a time where it was frowned upon.
It could get you tied to a fence and beaten to death.
Exactly.
Not to mention it was post-AIDS stuff, which
yeah,
you're instantly a pariah if you're queer in the '90s. Like, immediately, like people are like, ooh, fuck, get away.
But for me, that was the message, was like, you don't have the balls to be a fucking homosexual.
Oh man, it was a scary fucking time.
Yeah, and it's here we are in 2023, and there's legislation moving right now because it's not over,
No.
and it's still dangerous. So, and we have to move past it.
Fuck yeah, we're moving backwards at this point.
Pretty much on so many social levels. So yeah, it's a fucking shame. But as long as we all continue to unite and work together, we will find a better way. We will find the way, really. So, but yeah, that's definitely my favorite cover you guys have ever done, for sure. Like any band that you've done. No offense to Mix-a-Lot or the fantastic cover of Liars that Kinsey Six has done. Love that, by the way. Was it Liars? No, maybe it wasn't Liars. You did a Sex Pistols cover.
Oh, yeah.
Am I wrong?
I broke my fucking mic stand. God.
Yeah, I got that on video.
Just so much fucking energy. How do you not?
I'll never forget that night.
Bodies.
Yeah. Bodies, yeah.
Bodies. That's right. Okay.
Bands off our bodies, and then you go right into that fucking song. It was just kind of a moment. Plus, it was at the Hi-Fi, and I'm sorry, but their sound there is fucking tits.
Yeah.
It's great.
It really is.
Hell yeah.
I was so happy to play that show,
Yeah.
And hey,
good night.
Yes, it was. It was Kinsey, Tiger, and Big Gorgeous, California.
And Rad Key.
Rad Key, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a night. What a night. Yeah, I'll never forget that night. For multiple reasons.
It was a great night.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they actually played the first Benny and the No Good album release show at Black Circle too.
Hell yeah.
No, the second one. They were on that bill. And then the first Benny and the No Good show at the Mel was the one that fucking Ron Jeremy came to.
Oh yeah, God. That's right. He showed up to your album.
Why do we have to
my band had their album release party this weekend. Ron Jeremy showed up. What the fuck? I know. I don't know.
What happens to you, Benny?
I've had a weird life. I don't get it, but I mean it's
that cool. Is like literally one of the worst nights. It's like, I don't want to say worst.
No, man, he was definitely a bad egg, man.
Yeah,
there's a reason he's where he is now. Yeah. He's a bad person.
So at that time, I will never forget, like, Dave and Rock. So, Dave was still working punk rock nights back then. Anyways.
Yep.
The studio. Anyways, yeah, we will dive into that. But
I'm gonna go to the
I remember Dave and Rob pulling me inside and like, hey, can you like show Ron Jeremy around and make sure he's like taking care of him? Like, what? Okay, yeah, that lasted like maybe 10 minutes. Yeah. As soon as he started going into the women's restroom, I was out. I'm like, that was a crazy.
Yeah, he was showing everybody his dick and letting them touch it and stuff.
Oh man.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Wait, can I do that at shows?
Do you?
Okay.
Do you?
I might come to our show on Saturday.
Hey, pretty good indication we could do.
Hey, first of all, Daddy Rob wasn't mad. He was just wagging a finger, and he was very disappointed.
And she was wearing sparkly boots that night, and he walked in the bathroom and looked under the edge of the stall and goes, those are some fancy boots you got there, Benny, or shiny boots or something.
Mhm.
So it became like a running gag between us. Like, I'm like, hey, do you want me to put on my sparkly boots tonight? And she's like, shut the fuck up.
Rob will be mad again.
So I do want to remind you that there is a sword here. You should probably take it.
A sword?
Yeah, it's not safe to go by yourself.
Seriously?
Yeah, here. I'll grab it for you if you like. Here, I got you.
It's not safe to go by myself?
No.
Are there clay pots out there to break to find goodies?
You should take this with you.
I was correct.
It's not safe to go by yourself.
I was right. Look at
Oh,
that.
bro, I was getting my handgun out of my fucking purse. I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
It's a bad joke. It's a geek joke, really.
I will smack your butt. It's my job. It's literally in the job description. It's one of the things I have to do.
Must
every
smack
day.
Biddy.
Oh, pressure's on. Now it's me, right?
Hold on, yeah. Let's take this camera off. We'll go. Oh, look at that wide angle shot. Wow. So, did you get that reference or what? Wide angle shot. What's up, said?
Okay, bye. So anyway, I have been in the NoGood's news. We have been for a good hot minute on hiatus because our drummer left us, and then our old drummer came back, and then he left us, canceled the show, and then I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna let that rest, and we'll see what happens. Well, I have found a drummer. She came out and jammed with me at the house and played through a few songs and did a great job. So her and myself and Josh are going to get together and work up a set, and Benny the NoGood is going to start playing out again very soon.
Awesome.
That's exciting news. I'm real happy about that, to get that one going again.
Got everything popping off.
Yeah, like all at once. So I'm not mad.
Getting busy.
Yeah, she's actually a friend of Sid's from work, and she was like, Sid was telling her like, oh yeah, Benny has this other band that plays like pop punk stuff, and like the drummer quit, and all this stuff, and she's like, well, I play drum. Yeah, you should hit him up. And she was like, oh, I love that kind of stuff. Like she played her some of the songs. She's like, oh crap, I love this. So a little bit later, I'm trying to bounce schedules around and get together, and we finally did, and it was like, oh, this is great. And then like I've become friends with her since then anyway, and like so there's already like a personal like friendship there. So it's cool. Like she just came over and it was really relaxed and jammed, and there was no awkwardness. Like sometimes when you have somebody come over and try out for a band, you haven't really met them before, and so it's like that weird. Like I don't really know this person, but they're playing okay. But do I like them or whatever? And like we're already friends at that point, so it was just like, hey, what's going on? And she popped over and sat down behind my drum kit, and we just jammed some songs for an hour or two, and like, cool. What do you think? Cool. All right. See you later.
Have you ever had any like really weird experiences, like bringing somebody into a band?
No, I think I've been pretty lucky in that regard, man. Like the Enders was a really organic thing because my original drummer Kyle was like my neighbor, and I saw him on his front porch one day, and he had like shaved head and like cuff jeans, and like he was wearing a Pogues t-shirt, and I'm like, that's going to be my fucking friend right there. I know this motherfucker already. So like, that's how the Enders started, because he was a drummer, and we just started jamming in his basement and found a bass player. And then it evolved to where like we replaced the bass player with Pete. And then Kyle quit because he was like in a union and he was working in Chicago all the time. So he didn't have time to play, and he was tired constantly. And he was like, it just feels like a second job. So he quit. And that's when we got Omar. And then it just kept progressing like that until.
How long have you been working with Omar now?
Omar's been in the band since right before we recorded The Ruins of Ambition. He joined, and I think we recorded like within a month of him joining the band, we recorded that record.
Right on.
Like we jammed enough to get those songs down, and we went right in and did it. And he tracked the whole album in 13 hours and went home. And Pete and I finished the record on our own at the studio. That was it, man. Like he joined, picked the shit up, threw it down, and went to the house.
Are you writing new material for Benny and NoGood?
I haven't been, but I mean I do have some songs written. that I already have demoed and ready to go. But that's, again, with all the stuff that went on and not having a lineup for the band and everything and COVID and all that shit, I just kind of just
You do have a new
brushed it
drummer
aside.
though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like telling the story.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I've got close to an EP's worth of stuff just sitting there kind of waiting to be used, which I think at some point is going to happen. Cheers.
Close.
Sláinte.
I was like, oh my god.
So, new Kinsey Six music and new Benny and the NoGood's music and new Ender's music coming down in the, somewhat moderately close future.
Good time to have you on.
A lot of work to do.
Yep. And then be on next Saturday. So Kinsey Six is playing the Pride show at Punk Rock Night next Saturday. Do you guys have anything else going on?
We are talking right now with Punk Rock Night Louisville, and there's like 2 dates that we're trying to nail down to get one of the two. We're trying to do something at State Street Pub, or not State Street Pub, Jay Clyde's, just for funsies.
Yeah.
Just for oodles of funsies.
Yeah.
And then I've been talking with Jenny about a very fun pre-New Year's show, which I'll probably, her and I can come back on here and
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
silly, but you're gonna want to go to that one. That's all I have to say. There's stuff in the works, so it's gonna be pretty crazy.
Yeah, we had that was it the pre-Valentine's Day?
Yeah, we were
show.
supposed to do a butt sex show.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring all the Kinsey merch with like the whips and the anal beads and the paddles and all that shit.
Auction off some stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What happened to that show? Can't remember.
Life.
Oh yeah. What's it called? Life. Blah, blah, blah. Awkward moment. Anyways. Yeah.
Let me get one of those cigarettes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Here you go.
A catch.
Okay. Oh shit.
Getting in the way of mine and Shep's goldfish game.
Interception. Oh yeah, that's right. That was good.
I remember that.
That was fun. I can't remember if I was good at. Oh, you like to? There you go. If people weren't watching,
now we're holding hands.
if people weren't watching the video, they'd be like, "What is happening right now?"
Here's your smoke.
Yeah. So where were we? Oh yeah. So yeah, Kinsey Six next Saturday, and then maybe something in the works for Jay Clyde's. And then you and Jenny got something coming up.
And Punk
Jenny
Rock
B.
Night Louisville, but
Oh yeah, which is a pain in the butt. A little bit of pain. Get booked down there. I got a day on the hold.
yeah. Well, I know when we played that show for Mel's surgery and Daniel's memorial and Pooh's birthday, and like I think Morgan was there.
Yeah, Morgan and
Jeremy was there as well. And when I got off stage and they're like, "You got to come play down here." And I was like, okay, well, right now we like obviously literally don't have a guitarist, but once we figure it out, I'll reach out to you and we'll get a date set up. So yeah, I reached out and he was like, I have maybe this and maybe this. It's going to be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. When month do you think that's looking at?
It's either a September date or a November date.
Okay.
We're just seeing who's on what show at this point. So it's going to be cool.
I made it down there for one of them. I'm going to try to go down for the Republican Sex Blanket one that's going down. Yeah. Catch a ride with Nick and Ashley. It's fun though. It's definitely fun. Definitely a different experience. The last time I went down there, I ended up like walking around Louisville.
Oh yeah.
For like hours, just checking out the city because I'd never done it before, you know. And then like the next day, like there's like some bank robbery or something, or some crazy shit went down.
What?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, some dude with a gun, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some went down.
Yeah, I love Louisville. I actually used to live in Prospect, which is like like an exit or two outside of the city. And I remember going to like the Science Museum and the Louisville Slugger Museum, and going downtown. They always had like right by the river, they had these huge like steamboats and festivals or whatever. And the best pizza on the planet, Wick's Pizza. Benny and I have driven 2 hours south just to go get their pizza and then come home. Like it's
we went to the skate park.
Yeah, they have a badass skate park down there that has some really crazy areas on it, and it's all covered in graffiti. It's cool as fuck. I love Louisville.
We just actually got a little comment here from Phil.
Hi,
Keller.
Phil.
Louisville is great. Over there,
Louisville is great. I played shows at 3rd Street Dive, and that's the meme. What you ever seen that? Like, we'd like to thank Kevin or whoever for coming out tonight, and it's like the one dude standing in front of a stage.
Oh, okay.
You remember that?
I think so. Yeah,
that was at 3rd Street Dive, and it was the band playing on stage is the Worthmores, and we had done shows with them.
Just got another comment. So.
I think Phil's our most active viewer tonight.
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
had more to say than anybody.
And he said he's going to be on next week.
That's right.
Yeah. He's advertising, man, like building some hype.
Oh yeah.
So
maybe we'll come out next weekend and harass him.
Yeah,
I'll troll him in person instead of online.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having friend Stephanie on for sure. Like, I've been trying to get him on the show for a hot minute, so, and it's fresh off the show too. So we're having a show Saturday night.
Fuck yeah. There
was a conversation about actually taking the podcast and doing it out there, but I'll be at Pride. So, Phil Keller, Slammer Face.
You know what Sunday we're not going to be able to be on?
What Sunday is that?
The 24th or 25th. The 25th.
25th, yeah.
In Ohio.
Oh, that's right.
I'm so fucking stoked.
It's kind of my birthday present.
Happy 50th birthday, Benny.
Sid got us side stage tickets at Punk and Drublic.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna be
yeah.
It's the day that who else playing that stuff? Fucking No Effects and the Descendants and the fucking God, the lineup is sick. And she got us VIP side stage, man. We're gonna be right fucking there.
Gonna be there too.
Bouncing Souls, yeah.
Never been to one.
I'm stoked for that.
Never been to a drunken Punk and Drublic.
I don't even know what I'm gonna wear. I've got to be the like hot younger punk fiance. I don't know. We'll see.
How long is it? Is it a 2-day thing?
It's a 2-day thing, but we're only going Sunday just because, like, I don't know. We could do the whole thing and camp and be there for the 2 days, but like,
or we could be bougie and lazy and show up for 1 day with the VIP passes and use the the air conditioned bar and the private bathroom.
Really roughing it at those punk shows.
Yeah, right.
We're definitely crust punks.
Like people say, it's the equivalent of people who say they're going camping, but they have a giant $100,000 RV with fucking TV and air conditioning and shit.
At this point.
Right?
Yeah. We're going to that festival and we're going to sit in the air conditioning and watch the band from the side of the stage.
Although we might do Kings Island the day before.
Whatever.
There you go.
If you have to on your way.
Kick
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear a goddamn neck brace to keep my old ass broken neck from snapping off.
Happy 50th birthday, Benny.
Right?
Sounds like a pretty dull weekend, though.
Yeah, it does.
You guys ever been to Cedar Point?
Nope.
Oh,
man.
Oh, we were just talking about that.
Here's the thing, man. Like, I am not a roller coaster guy, per se. Like, I'm going to go ride roller coasters with Sid because I want to ride roller coasters with Sid. But the with Sid part is the optional part of that phrase. Now, I'm not good with heights. Heights are my phobia. Like, I'm okay with fucking spiders and all this other bullshit that people freak out about. I'm not scared of clowns. I don't care about any of that shit. Dude, get me on a structure that I can feel move. Fuck you. Get me off of this now.
You're tall enough to ride this ride, though.
But
shit.
I'm
already back in. I've ridden it twice a day already. I'm gonna ride it again.
Jesus Christ. Honestly, we love a short king, so I'm here for it. Roller coasters. I am a roller coaster guy. There's not anything I won't ride. At least once.
You need to go to Cedar Point.
I want to. I've never been, and I hear
live
it's
so close
awesome.
to there.
Here's to date, like to emphasize how much of not a roller coaster guy I am. The last real roller coaster, not counting those piddly bullshit things at the fucking fair, right?
Right.
Pulled out of a trailer. Not counting those, a real roller coaster. The last real roller coaster I rode was the Texas Giant, which was a bolt for bolt, like same ground topography replica of the Hurricane from Coney Island.
All right.
That roller coaster was located at Six Flags Astro World, which has been closed down since like 2005.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been since I rode a roller coaster.
All right.
So yeah. Here's the fucked up thing though about me with heights. If it's a structure like a building or a coaster or whatever, if something that I'm on and I can feel move, I'm scared shitless. Like my calves get sore because I'm clenching the floor with my fucking toes. Right.
You would hate the St. Louis art.
But if I'm on a plane, if I'm on an airplane, I'm glued to the fucking window like, wow, this is awesome. The whole time. Like, get out of the way. I got to sit in the window. I want to see it.
You still want to feel it.
I'm like looking, watching the whole time, like just fascinated. But if I'm on a thing, it's over for me.
Yeah.
Man. And it's the oddest thing. Like, I love to fly.
I'm the opposite.
Fucking love it.
I
love
hate
to get
flying.
on a plane.
So I'm gonna say this to Sid because you're gonna hear it. So you said something about going to like fairground, right? You go to the county fair, state fair.
Yeah.
You go to those rides. But when I go to Kings Island, I feel like I'm at the county fair because I've been to Cedar Point.
Yeah. Is it that cool? I know they've got like ingenuity at that.
It's like
park.
So. Let's put it this way: for globally speaking, there are two parks.
No parachuting, Phil.
That are
absolutely
consistently like coming at each other, trying to compete. And there's one in Japan, and then there's one in the Cedar Point.
Does that make us guinea pigs though? Are we getting decapitated on some of these rides?
Like the fastest, the tallest, the most wicked, the most craziest shit you'll ever see. And it takes like legit, unless it be raining, like it's gonna take 3 days to cover every roller coaster.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Holy
it takes
shit.
a solid 2.5 hours to walk across from the gate to the back. Like 2.5 hours walking. It's so fucking big. If you love roller coasters, it's like
I gotta go then.
it's the spot. Like unless you be like trying to go out to that little island called Japan.
I've been there. It was fun.
I've never been. How was that?
It was good. It was really cool. It's the technology.
She was really tall there.
Yeah, I was. When I lived in South Korea, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump to get to Japan. So, like, why not? You know, the technology and like the smoking lounge in the airport in Japan alone was like something you'd see in a Tron movie. It was insane. It was so cool. And the food, don't get me started. I love Korean and Japanese food. It's the bomb. Right, that's probably
now I'm like, sounds good. Want some food now. Especially some Japanese food. Hell yeah. I've never left the country, so I've been to a lot of states, but never left the country. Never experienced other like cultures beyond our realm. So
I had never been out of the country at all until
everybody
last
should.
December.
Everybody should.
I'd never been on a cruise. I'd never left the United States. It was said, she's like, hey, you want to go on a cruise to Mexico? I'm like, what? Like, yeah.
That's my Christmas present to the boys this year.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was our family Christmas trip, was to take a cruise. And it was like 2 days at sea and then a day in Cozumel and 2 days back. And
drinking and tequila.
Oh,
bro.
Fucking
we got
Christ,
the drink
dude.
package.
We did the drink package. And
I like the reaction.
I think I had already made my money back by noon every day. It was stupid because you have to spend like, it averages out to like $70 a day for the drink package, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you get top shelf liquors. You don't pay extra for anything. Your gratuities all added at the end of your trip. But to make the drink package worth it, you want to drink $70. If you think you're going to drink $70 worth of drinks in a day, and that includes like energy drinks, coffee. The only things that are free on a cruise are the water,
lemonade,
juices,
tea, and water.
and tea. So
And that's not even bottled water.
no, it's straight up like
Fuck.
tap cup water. They
Not-
cups of
Not
water
like
On a
Mexican tap water. Though.
On a ship.
So
Ugh.
you could easily rack up like $70 worth of drink charges if you have a few cocktails and like a
Right.
Monster and a coffee or something. Like you've already spent it, right?
You don't even have to go hard to make your money up. Because think about it. You get like, here's what a random day with the drink packages. It's like you go to breakfast and you get like, I don't know, a coffee, a specialty coffee, not just like black coffee, and then like a mimosa with breakfast, you know. And then you go to the pool and you have like, I don't know, a cocktail because you're by the pool and you're hanging out or whatever, or two, and then you have lunch and then you want soda with lunch, you know, and then
It adds up quick.
another drink with dinner and then wine with dinner and then espresso after dinner and then you go out and you drink a cup. Like it's honestly just buy the damn thing.
Yeah.
I was making my money by noon every day.
Getting your money.
It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was over.
What was it like being on a ship? I don't know. There was like some shops or something, and then a pool.
When did y'all do
This
this?
big fucking
That was in
TV.
December. We went to Cozumel and actually went to this really cool place that had like dolphins and a beach and a pool and
Yeah, swim. There's like fish come right up to you. They're like, "Hey, what's going on, buddy?" You know, they don't run from you. They're so acclimated because so many people go to that beach every day, like all cruise season. The fish are just like, "Oh, look, there's more people."
like when I went to St. Martin, like they have crystal clear water
Yeah, it was really nice.
and you just take some bread out into the water and you start dropping it and these silver angelfish will just come and be a cloud around you and catch the bread. And it's awesome. The Caribbean is great.
So, yeah, it's something we want to do.
Yeah, definitely
Try
want
do
to travel.
some different spots.
I know after I graduate, we're going probably to Dublin and then over to Germany, and
Yeah.
it's going to be great.
What's the craziest place you ever been to? Did you say?
The Ville in South Korea.
I was like, you'd be like Peach Grove.
Right? Beach Grove
Beach Grove.
Walmart.
Technically the craziest place anybody in Indiana has been.
I vote Warren Park is probably.
We're probably up there. Yeah.
Man, I lived in Warren Park for a decade. It
Yeah.
ain't that bad. If you lay in bed at night and you play Was That a Gun or a Firework?
And it's January.
That's the east side right now, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
That's
saying,
everywhere
man. Like
right now.
I lived there for a straight decade, man. That house you'd been over, you stayed over there for a little bit.
Yes, I did.
That was
Yeah, over there by the the penitentiary over there?
no, it was by the Raytheon plant.
Okay. I thought there was a jail over there. I don't fucking know. Over
Dude,
there
the
on
number
Harlem.
of bands that rehearsed
I know, right?
and jammed
Yeah,
in that
that's
house
the next
or
thing that came to my
crashed
mind.
there, man, it's insane. Like how much music history in Indianapolis happened in that fucking house while I
Yeah.
lived in it. Because it's just
Not-
like
not-
everybody practiced
Not
over
even
there.
40 yards from a KFC.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah. You can
The
smell
worst,
it.
yeah.
The worst KFC in the entire city, man.
Ever.
Like living next to that KFC ruined KFC for me. I'm just like, I ain't even fucking with them no more, man. They can't get shit right.
I mean, and that's pre-pandemic too. Like we're talking history here. Like not just like nobody wants to work anymore nonsense. We're talking like pre-2020.
Those people
Worst
literally
KFC
did not
fucking
give a fuck
ever.
about that food. Like,
So does that mean that your house was the craziest place I've been?
I am sure on some level, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Because
I thought I was gonna get human trafficked when I went like.
I mean, what? God damn, I don't even know if I could remember all the bands that rehearsed there. I mean, all of my bands, obviously, like Benny the No Goods, Enders, Kinsey Six, the Yavin Four, Republican Sex Blanket, Bingo Boys, fuck, and a ton of other bands like would come over and jam, or they would hang out, and like Black Irish Texas stayed there, fucking Matt Anthony stayed there, Svetlana stayed there. Jesus Christ. It just goes on and on, man. I'll remember 20 more bands when I go home that like stayed at my house and I can't remember. But like I still have Matt Anthony's fucking Punk Rock Night Award.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Whatever happened to Man Anthony?
Ringo
Anthony.
like graduated college and moved off to St. Louis. They still get together and do reunion shows. Like they'll do like 2 shows a year or something. And I love those guys, man. When they did that anthology album, they had like the Afghan Wigs and all those bands like that on it. It was like huge. They invited me to do a song with them. So I have a song that I wrote the lyrics for and sang on that anthology album with them, and I'm situated on the album right next to the Afghan Wigs, which was fucking crazy to me. Like, how did that happen? Fuck, and they were just like, hey man, we're getting a bunch of friends to do this record with us. You want to do it? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. So they recorded the instrumental track and sent it to me with no indication of what I was going to fucking do. And just like, when you're done, send it back. And that's what we'll do. I was like, man, okay.
You know, it really makes me think about thinking about that time, like Matt and Anthony, when they were playing down here a lot and putting out albums. And it makes me think about, like, back then, like, man, you were so involved with, like, the burlesque community. And, you know, at that time, back then, you were looking for punk rock night as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I did for a long time.
That's how you started working Pride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the thing is, like, even the toughest roads that we travel, like, you have to see the beauty of the good things that come from those. You know, it's kind of like life in general in the first place, right? Yin and yang. But yeah, man, like, your involvement in a lot of parts of our community, you know, today, like, looking back, it's like, man.
Like, I don't do a good job of, like, this is what I've done. This is what I'm doing. And it's weird even sitting here, just like a conversation between friends. I know it's being broadcast, but like, I'm not good at, like, look what I did.
Yeah. Well,
I think in a way,
I have this knack for asking people to come over and sit down and drink with me, and trying to let people know, like, hey, by the way, this motherfucker right here, that's kind of the purpose of this. That's why it's, you know, this is the Benny No Good show.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
but
this is like your time to.
I don't tell people stuff like this, but, like, since Punk Rock Night has been doing a Pride show, I've been the one that's put it together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Rich will, like, suggest a band to me or something, and I'm like, I'll check them out and be like, "Fuck yeah, man, they're awesome. Let's do that."
With Oakland.
But, like, I don't. That's the first time I think I've ever told anybody that shit in public. But I'm the one that's always put the Pride show together.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Just pretty much thank you for your, you know, like, what you've done in the past, and, like, your involvement and you know, you've been such a big part of our community and our scene for so long, man. You know.
Oh, you know, I like what I do.
It deserves recognition.
Amen.
You're pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And you write some good goddamn music.
Yeah, you do.
But yeah, like, you know, there was a stretch there where you know, you were really trying to get things moving, and I mean, think about the fact that, you know, I sat here and was like, by the way, P.S., that poster over his left shoulder is pretty monumental to me. It was the first time I ever got to see one of my favorite bands, you know?
Yeah.
So thank you for, you know, everything you've done, man.
Hell yeah, Phil. Fuck yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
You had a great ass.
You want to sew some pants around it?
Dude, that album, I remember you did that album with, was it Benny and the No Goods? And like, one of my things is, like, if anybody ever says, like, hey, you're a great photographer, I'm like, yeah, thank you. But I'll tell you what it really is. It's called catching lightning. It's like having timing. And I got a really good photo of you where you made this, like, bodacious face, and you ended up using it.
Yeah, on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the first Benny and the No Good record. That was your photo.
Yeah. Like,
I was trying to look at Josh, or at Pete. It was an Ender show, so it was Pete at the time. And I was trying to look at him for a cue or something, but I had sweat in my eyes, and I was, like, squinting with one eye and looking sideways with the other one, and it just looked insane. I'm like, that picture is too goddamn funny not to use, man. So, like, that's what I put on there. And I felt like it captured the spirit of the album, because it's kind of serious stuff, but it's kind of just me being a dipshit, you know? So I was like, that's perfect.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good picture, man.
I fucking, I just love it when that shit happens, you know? Like, I just happen to be, you know, it's always, like, in that fucking moment, you know? But thank you for using that, using
Yeah,
that
man,
photo.
it's a great photo, and it was perfect for what I was trying to do.
Very proud of, the fact that like sometimes I get lucky and people like use my images and stuff for stuff like that. So
Man, your pictures are probably like 7,000 profile pictures on Facebook. Are you kidding me?
probably, I don't fucking know. I actually don't really try to think about that too much, but I will say this: whenever I see one of my photos, I'm like, yay!
You know what pisses me off? When I know that people crop that fucking
The PRN
little
logo.
PRN logo out of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
But you know what? If you do a thing and you do it long enough, even if like you don't think you're good at it, as long as you just keep doing it, you'll see a signature. And I'll tell you right now, I don't ever have to like see a photo and be like, I know it's mine
Oh yeah.
because of that little.
That's
fucking,
like you like do a thing long enough and be comfortable with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God, I'm an okay guitar player, I guess.
You're a bad motherfucker.
I'm not a great singer. I'm okay. I do pretty good for what I'm trying to do, I guess. I'm a fair bass player. I'm a mid fucking drummer. Straight fucking mid, dude. But I like to challenge myself, right? Like I'll put something down and be like, what can I do with this? And then I'll just force myself to play it, just dig it out of myself. But it's not that I ever think I did a really great job on that track or something like that. Like I was saying, like doing the one take drums on that one song, I was like, how the fuck did I do that? Like, because that's such a not the norm thing for me. Like you see some drummers that can sit down and blast out a whole song in the studio and it just be fucking dead to nuts and they're done. Like next song. That's the only time that's ever happened to me, man. So it's like that's the little personal celebratory moments that I don't normally allow myself, because it's always like a struggle to get something out. So I don't know, man. It's just put the work in, I guess.
Yeah. Well, one thing is like, the thing that I always will love and appreciate in any form of art is just the, like, kind of expressed this earlier.
Yeah, Clint, just do what you do, man. That's all you can do. And if you suck long enough at something, you'll get better at it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like that's the, like, gosh, like one of the things in life that is so fucking important is like, you should do things that make you happy.
Fuck yeah.
I learned by showing myself the hard way the things not to do. That's how I learned.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I just suck and I hate it and I suck and I hate it and I suck and I hate it. And then I do something and I go, that didn't suck. I'm going to do that again.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the way it works.
But you keep going.
Yeah.
You don't stop.
Especially if it's your thing, if it's something that you are doing to make you happy. It's honestly just a really cool and positive thing when other people are appreciating what you're doing.
Yeah, the feedback is nice. It always makes me uncomfortable because, again, I don't take that well. It always makes me feel kind of awkward.
Whenever somebody compliments me, you'll see me like black out. I'll just kind of like look over and be like, I'm not listening.
Yeah, I always like it. I don't know if
you'll get them next time.
I don't know if
I'll just keep like looking away
after I play a show, but I always kind of like dip to the corner and hide.
That's an Nate Jordan trick, by the way.
Because people are like, oh, that was awesome, man. I'm like, oh, cool, thanks. Oh, we did okay. I don't know how to take it with grace. I'm just like, oh, well, I fucked this and that up, whatever. I'm just like, so I just dip to the corner and go hide. I'll just go get a beer and just go sit in the corner and wait till the other band's playing, and then I come back out. I'm like, hey guys.
I remember our last show that we did for Daniel's Memorial. I don't know who they were, but after the show, she came up to me and she's like, I got one of your shirts. You're so sexy. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. And I was like, wow, thank you. I was like right in front of the door outside of the mill, and she'd have popped out the door. And she was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to see you guys again. Can I have a hug? And I was like, yeah, okay.
You did that.
And I gave her.
You did that. You created joy in somebody else.
Right, but I gave her a hug, and then she looked at me. She was like, can I have a kiss? And I was like, okay. And she fucking planted one right on me, and then she flitted off into her car, and they left. And I was like,
that's what it's all about?
Fucking weirdest experience
That's
I've
what it's
ever
all
fucking
about,
had.
though. You incited with your music and your art. You incited joy
Oh
in
yeah.
somebody else, and in a way, like beyond that, like here we are, however long later, and that person is carrying that, and they're like, wow,
Yeah.
you know, the energy. It's all about that energy.
I remembered a favorite moment. You're asking me about my favorite this or my favorite that. My favorite, most meaningful moment at a show was the Pride show the year after the Pulse shooting in Orlando happened. And you remember we did that song, I wrote that song called Our Mothers Are Calling. We recorded it the same week that the shooting happened, and we got it released and donated all the proceeds to the One Orlando Fund, and then they used that to help open the museum in what was the Pulse nightclub for LGBT issues. But that song, which by the way, I've never been able to sing without crying and fucking myself up at the end and not being able to finish singing it right. Because it just, I remember what it felt like to write it and watching that shit happen.
Yeah.
But
I'll never forget when you sang it at Black Circle.
yeah. But the first time we played that song live was at the Pride the following year. Like I didn't even play it in our set like normal shows, but we did for the Pride shows when the Enders play Pride. I always put that one on the set list because it's an important piece of like, a reminder of what can happen and the shit that we face as queer people. And I talk like a straight guy. Like if somebody saw me on the street, unless they picked up a mannerism here and there, I kind of blend in. So I have that privilege and I recognize that. But still, every queer person lives with that risk. Every queer person can end up being shot in a gay bar or at Pride or beat up by some fucking stupid fucking cousin fucking hilljacks and tied to a fence and beat to death or what the fuck ever. There's 1,000 goddamn horror stories that any of us could face at any moment just because of who we are. And so I wrote that song and then we played it the following year at Pride. And there was this girl at the show who, after we played it, came up and she was like, "That was really beautiful. Can I have a hug?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And she gave me a hug. And that's what the woman asking me for a hug reminded me. And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I just wanted to thank you for that. That was amazing." And she gave me a hug and she walked away and she went outside. And 15 minutes later, she came back inside. She goes, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I just got off the phone with my dad. And the reason I called him is because of that song. And like, I haven't talked to him since I came out because he rejected me. And so I wanted to let you know that you doing that made this happen. And I've started talking to my dad again. So that was definitely my favorite thing that's ever happened at one of my shows.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oof,
yeah.
That's rough.
So that one, that song is still really fucking hard to sing because of the subject matter and what it's about.
It says that, one of the things that we are very lucky to have the community that we have.
Yeah, we are.
And one of the big messages yesterday was that, especially for me personally, because I just felt so much loving, accepting energy, and it was such a beautiful experience. But it is also like a big reminder that despite it being 2023, there is still just as much danger and people in this world that just can't see love for what it is and see people for who they are.
It's scary as fuck but it kind of gives me hope because here's what's happened: is the hateful are a smaller and smaller group, and they're weaker and weaker, and they're lashing out more, and they're being louder, but there's fewer of them. And as the older generations die off, and I hate to be one of those like, fuck, I can't wait till all the boomers are dead, but I kind of can't wait till all the boomers are dead because fuck, stop being regressive. You hateful pieces of shit, knock it off. You know, and being Gen X, being an older Gen X, it's so fucking disappointing because my generation was the one that was like, we're going to change things. We're going to make things better. We're going to be our own fucking people and learn to coexist. That was the whole thing with Gen X. And I know everybody says, well, the forgotten generation, and we kind of are. Like, we're still over here, you know. But it's fucking depressing seeing that, like, that was such a vocal part of who my generation was. And then you get these fucking dickheads like Sarah Huckabee Sanders and fucking Matt Gaetz and all these other pieces of shit, garbage fucking assholes spewing this fucking hate and this regressive, disgusting, separatist fucking policy and way of thinking that's like so pervasive among people on that side. And it's not even a left or right thing. It's just hateful fucking pricks, man. I don't care about what honestly, 99% of those people are going to vote Republican, you know? And what I would say is that if you're standing in line to vote for the same person that the fucking Klan's voting for, think about your fucking brain. Think about what you're fucking doing. Think about what your opinions really are doing to you and to the people around you. Because if you agree with the fucking Klan, fuck you. Fuck you, walk off a bridge.
So fucking ready for this Pride show.
Amen.
Fuck yeah.
It's a lot to think about, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it gives me hope because those voices are much louder. But it's like, you ever driven a car until it completely ran out of gas and right before the engine dies, it goes, what? And it shuts down. That's where we are now. They're screaming at the top of their lungs and then their voices will stop. I feel like that's where I want to believe that's where we are now. That's why they're so fucking loud. This is their last fucking gasp. This is it. In a generation, we'll look back on this, or the next generation will look back on this and go, boy, I'm glad that time happened because those motherfuckers are gone now.
Mm-hmm.
Millennials, Gen Zers, Gen Alpha, they're all not going to tolerate bullshit like that. And we all, as a collective, need to take this inclusivity, this positivity ideology as a whole and just place it as a priority. And we're eventually going to just, this locomotive is, you know, trains start and they're hissing and they're going.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever. I'm ugly anywho, unless you want to cuddle Benny. But yeah, it's like that train starts going and it's real slow, but eventually it's going to be hauling ass and we just got to take the steps to get there.
So what we'll do here real quick, I did not realize I have not been paying attention to the screen. There's a ton of comments too. We'll just, if you want to angle that a little more or pull it back away and then angle it, we'll just put you all on camera, say something.
I can scoot over a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
There you go.
Me?
Gross. Don't touch me.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I don't want to. Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Let's see these comments. That's awesome. Benny, Phil, some more Phil?
Hi.
Hi.
Like sitting next.
Yes, that was powerful. Okay. So, yeah, the rest is pretty much talking about the camera going out. So, yeah, let's wrap it up. Oh, shit. Now the other camera's going out. It heard me. So, yeah. What a powerful way to end this podcast.
Yeah.
Ben said they're playing next Saturday at the Punk Rock Night Pride.
Yep.
With, I wrote it down this time, Flumix.
Flumix.
Damn it.
Flumix.
And Killing Pixie.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and that's going down Saturday
amazing out of town bands. You've got to come and see them.
Yeah, pay your camera bill. I'm trying to, I swear. Thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. It's been super cool.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
You know, so happy to have like the Benny No Good podcast, you know, and it was a time to appreciate you and everything that you've been a part of and everything that you've done. So kudos to you, Benny. Love you, Sid. Again, thanks for tuning in tonight. If Robbo was here, he would tell you to turn on your headlights. And, shout smart, shout smart, shout smart, shout smart. Shout smart. All right, y'all. I'm done being goofy. Y'all are the best. Thank you for coming out all the way to fucking LaPel, Indiana. We are the unheard. We are the overlooked.
Thank you guys for sticking around.
Hey, the camera just came back on. We are Top Liver. Cheers.